Not a clue. Cool. So, Berserkers and Shogunate. First ban, prediction?
Ooh. Cap Shower Blackbeard, that's my guess.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see.
Oh, Thatcher. Maybe not. I'm quite surprised to see a Thatcher ban on this map, especially. I don't really think he's too strong.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting ban. I don't know if it's as relevant, but if you want to hold that blue bars, it can help a lot to keep the ADSs active and the mine magnets active if you're holding in the corner next to the bomb.
Yeah. Just Stylex, one question. In the bottom left, it says follow iFluvio.
Also, I can still hear music, but I don't know. Oh, that's because I have
I
your Twitch
can't.
stream open on another tab. Makes sense.
Yes.
I was tripped. I was like, what's going on here? But the Montaigne ban?
As well as the mirror. I mean, obviously, mirror can be quite strong in Penthouse, but you rarely see her in any other site. I mean, kitchen she can be used, but rarely.
I think mirror is an acceptable ban. She's pretty strong. Just in general, it's one of those defense-defining operators. And Maestro again, taking him off the board. Very popular pick on coastline. Basically used on every site when he's up. So removing that from play, if you have no intention of using it, pretty solid ban.
My Maestro is a very strong operator. I think he really shines, especially in kitchen, just because of all the lines of sight you can get with certain camera spots, and you can stop the plants and all that as well.
Yeah, definitely one of the more impactful operators, both in terms of his defense, but also that Aldo goes burr. That is a
yes, it does go burr. Right, well, we're going to be seeing Iana and Capital both be played. I mean, we're also seeing the book instead of the sledge, so it's quite an interesting lineup from Shogunate. It's quite unique, but I think it'll work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving some of the more niche or specialist operators. You've got the Yana and the Capital. Like you mentioned, the buck instead of the sledge, I think, is a very interesting option, especially considering even on the more popular sites like Hookah on the top floor, you can still actually destroy a lot of the key floors for that site by vaulting on top of the bars in blue and pink. You can get both of like the kind of default plant spots. You can also vault on top of the sofas next to where Riddler is actually reinforcing right now, and you can open up just under the rotate holes. So I think there's definitely a lot of strength to using Buck on that site if you're attacking Hookah over Buck still, but it's interesting to pick.
I do think that Buck will shine even more, considering that they are in Sunrise and Pink Bar. Sunrise and Blue Bar, because of course, almost every single line of sight can be opened from above by Buck. If you see Hooker and Billards, so much of that floor is soft floor.
Yeah, the only part that you won't be able to get is the corner on that A-bomb where Shady is sat behind his deployable shield. And that's the spot that I was referring to when I said that Thatcher can be kind of useful for banning off if you're looking to hold it. But Mai's in play and they haven't brought him, so I think that's an interesting choice, bringing that Vigil instead, providing a little bit less immediate utility, but if they can get an effective roam game going, I think that's a really strong operator who could cause a lot of problems for Shogunate on their attacks, and we're seeing them very quickly starting to make their way over to Penthouse and VIP. Snappy in a very good position to take early control of VIP and start putting some pressure on those top four players, cut off any rotations due to the nature of this square center around the courtyard you can see.
Right, and yeah, as you said, already using these gadgets effectively. You got the drones coming out trying to locate the defenders, as well as this Ayana Gemini replicator. Nothing's been found just yet. I do think a drone spotted out Rinsler playing at the top of Cool Vibes, and well, a lot of players quite close and nearby now, and the Ash pushes up, and well, the first pick goes in favor of Shogunate.
You can see you can see the yellow ping there, so he knows exactly where he needs to pre-fire. Potentially a nitro kill coming here for Tomcat. It's placed and he's waiting for it. Hasn't set it off just yet. Might have missed his opportunity, but she runs over it as the ping comes out from the Valkyrie to detonate it. That's unfortunate timing.
Yeah, I mean, the attackers have basically taken control of all of that top four now, but the timing isn't the greatest, of course. Only now are you starting to see Buck make his way through VIP and starting to open up these soft holes, and there we go. Second pick goes in favor of Shogunate, as well as Flex outside that main door does take out James playing in service.
Yeah, so this is where you start to see their approach and how they're going to take it, but that's another quick kill. Ruse finding the third of the round, leaving them in a 2 versus 2. The two SAOS operators with the SMG 11s to defend against the last 5 remaining attackers, but Tomcat can be brought down to very low HP. 1 left, maybe 2 at a maximum, and you can see the Bucks starting to rip open the floor above them and really forcing them into really uncomfortable positions where they're not going to have a lot of flexibility in how they're going to be able to maneuver around this bomb site. They're also very far split apart, so it's a fantastic job done by the attackers to keep them isolated, keep them on their own, which is essentially going to force 2 5v1s or maybe a 1v4 afterwards if one of them can pick up a kill. You see the asphyxiation bolts forcing Shady out of his corner, Buck not quite catching the angle properly, and Smoke's able to slide, but only into the sights of Snappy. And that's the 1v5 pinch I was talking about, and now Tomcat stuck in office, off objective. The diffuser will be about to go down as Capital rotates into the site just behind him. You can hear the smoke bolts going off to cover his plant. Don't know if that's necessary in that 1v5, but doesn't hear the player. Coming up behind, Tomcat finding the kill from Courtyard, coming down main lobby, down the corridor, but going to be swung on by the Yana. Gets the second kill, has to reload. The Buck on the cool vibe. They have a 3-way angle onto him now. They just have to be careful with their numbers.
Yeah, he has so many players to find, and well, he has no time to do so, and well, there we go. Navix just cleans up that first round. They should have been able to do it without anyone dying, but of course, the Ash didn't know that he was coming behind, and well, the Yana just whiffed the shots. Even still, though, Shogunate do take that first round.
Yeah, I think that was a fantastic push from Shogunate. They were able to catch off the roamers very efficiently. You saw the drone just coming in hookah there, was able to spot out the Vigil on Cool Vibe Stairs, the lovely pre-fire, making the most use of that Z-ping. Possibly one of the arguments for why a lot of higher-ended competitive players have been asking for its removal, but I digress. It's here to stay, so you might as well make the best use of it, and they certainly did that.
Right, well, they're going to be trying Kitchen and Service now. They're bringing the Pulse. The 6 picked off the Oryx, which, of course, that may have been, obviously, they may have known that was going to happen. I mean, even still, Shogunate don't have the IQ, and so this will make the operators like Valkyrie and Pulse a bit more prominent, because, of course, most of the floor in Kitchen as well, just like in Blue Bar and Sunrise, it's just, most of it's destructible, so the C4s can reign supreme, but so can Nabix on the book, once again.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a value to IQ on this map, even if you're not seeing the Valkyrie, but when you see them bring it in the first round, it's probably very indicative that they're going to be bringing it throughout that entire half. And I think it's just such a strong operator when you don't need that explosive anymore now, which changes to how Wamai and Jaeger's gadgets work, especially in combination with each other, and the changes to who has deployable shields. I think IQ has suddenly skyrocketed into a very strong and prominent pick again. We might start to see her re-emerge herself into the meta.
Yeah, we may see that relatively soon. Right, as you just see there, Tomcat's just spotting out these attackers, and he's most likely going to be calling out to his team that the sort of push that they're going to be going for, obviously being the top-down soft destruction clear. And as you see now already, that replicator going out, obviously to try and spot out any of these defenders playing the top floor. I'm not sure if there are any there though. Tomcat still knows that there's at least 3 players on that roof. If at least one of them drops and he uses that C4 well, he should be able to get an easy pick. And he's just pre-placing it now and just waiting for the attacker to come in. There we go. C4 goes out but doesn't manage to get the pick.
That's unfortunate, just narrowly missing with that Nitro Cell. Not quite aware of the layout upstairs possibly, or just going for a little bit preemptive, but he's going to find one with the UMP-45. I think that was through the floor, but a couple quick trades going back. It's going to leave us in a 3 versus 3 as Ruse and Zephan keep the man count even. Paul's still relaying so much information from the site to his team, and that's really going to help out the off-site player of James find his way into a position where he's going to be able to catch the attackers off guard. Potentially. It's not guaranteed, but you never know.
Alright, so, yeah, half the round's gone. It's a 3 versus 3. And, well, your primary soft destruction is gone. Nabix on the book got taken down as well as Nappy on the Ash, which means the only chance of them having any soft breach is if they waste grenades or if Nomad has breaching charges, which, at this point, I doubt. Yeah, so no soft destruction, which means at the minute, I'd say the Berserkers are in a much better position. Of course, the attackers have to push them, and as you see now, you do have the Eon, you have Zephan moving into Courtyard, getting into position to go for an execute later on, maybe try to pick up one of these players, but nothing's been found yet, and look at this, the Z-ping's going in, and while his location's known, the smoke grenade goes out, takes almost all of his HP off him, and you also have James flanking up behind.
Yeah, when you consider the operators left on the board, I think that, as you've clearly mentioned out, with the lack of that soft destruction, it puts the defenders in a position where they can actually play in their comfortable zones, which is one thing that you normally don't get to do towards the later end of a kitchen defense. But as we see, James is going to catch the Yana off guard, and that's going to be a quick kill going towards him and his team, putting him in a numbers advantage. So he takes another quick gunfight with Ruse, a little bit of damage traded back and forth between both members of that engagement. We're seeing James now just rotating around. They have the time, they have the numbers advantage. They just need to play it a little bit safe, and that's going to cause so many problems for Ruse. He doesn't know where they're going to be, but he's not there. He's somewhere else. That's him in main lobby, but he's been able to be found. The quick triple kill coming out. 2 quick kills for Ruse is going to secure him in that 1 versus 1, but a lovely vault from the Capitao, able to put him in that position to win that engagement.
Yeah, very nice into the round. Alright, 1 second.
The quick ending to that round was phenomenal. They, even in that 2 versus 3, they were able to keep their heads calm. They knew where they needed to be, and they were able to put themselves in positions to take optimal gunfights. And now I'm starting to think maybe James leaving was a bit of a poor decision. I completely agree with it at the time. Like, I think it made perfect sense, but it was so unlucky that he was caught out by Ruse on that pixel he was trying to, on the head peak he was trying to hold. But you know, that's Rainbow. That's going to happen sometimes, and you have to take the good with the bad. But that's 2 rounds back to back now for Shogunate.
Yeah, I do think the Berserkers, well, they should have had that round, but of course, some very nice plays were made by those last remaining members of Shogunate. I mean, of course it was a 3 versus 3, but the Valhalla members just seem to be in such better position because, of course, they're on the defense. The attackers have no soft destruction. They could just play in their comfortable spots, but when members, I think, I don't know who was the, it may have been Flex, I'm not too sure, but when that Capital bot went out and pushed that player out of their location, well, things like that can change the round and obviously reveal a defender's location to one of those attackers where they can just easily pick them up, as you saw by Ruse in the last round.
Yeah, winning a 2 versus 3 with 15 seconds on the clock as an attacker is always going to be a sublime achievement, no matter what level of play you're in, you know, especially when you're supposed to be 2 evenly matched teams. But Shogunate really seem to just have Valhalla's number in this game, and there's nothing they can really do to break this hold that they are in. We'll have to see if things change up now. They're returning to a site which they lost in tremendous fashion the first time around. And we have to see what adaptations they've changed. They haven't changed up any operators, so the change is going to have to come mid-round adjustments. We're seeing the attackers coming in very much the same positions as before, taking control of that early master bedroom and theater, just trying to keep that top floor presence under wraps. Vigil in a slightly different position, now going for more of a main lobby hold, hiding in security. Means that there's not going to be really any presence upstairs holding them back. A quick nitro cell's already been thrown out, I believe we heard. Yeah, it did not hit anyone.
And, well, as you see, Shogunate are doing a very good early take. Of course, you see Nabix on the book as well, going from Aqua Balcony as well, which means they have so many angles to pinch if a defender was on top 4. Of course, that isn't the case, so it won't be a problem, but all of the top 4 are being established already by these attackers, and, well, only 1 minute and 15 seconds have gone.
They also have the Nomad, and Nomad's fantastic at holding down the staircases on this map, because you can put them in a couple positions where it's really uncomfortable for the defenders to shoot out those air jabs, and you're going to get notified by their presence when they try to rotate upwards. And if they, in a lot of these takes, especially on playing the downstairs sites, one of the main ways that you want to play this is the attackers is by retaking, but Zephyr drops straight into James's sunlight and still is able to win that somehow. I think that's fantastic from Zephyr, but honestly, a little bit disappointing to see from James losing that gunfight out. Maybe, I mean, he was aiming at a different spot, clearly, but you must see that drop. There's no way you lose on that 180.
Alright. So, that early round being established by Shogunate, and even more so as Zephyr does find Rinsler. It's a 5 versus 3, and it's looking to go the same way as the first round. Of course, you can still see Nabix playing above, opening up all these angles, making Valhalla feel very uncomfortable in the positions they're in. Shady will be the only one who obviously cannot be contested, as the fort above him isn't hard. Oh, but Tomcat does find a refrag onto Snappy though.
That's definitely something coming back into play for Valhalla, and Shady trying to take this gunfight with Flex. That was my pick. I was wrong before. They did actually swap out something. The mute is no longer on the board. That was an oversight on my behalf, but that was my pick, which we were talking about in the first round, has come in massively saving Shady's position, as that caught the asphyxiation bolt, which otherwise would have caused massive problems, forcing him out into the gun lines of his teammates. But 15 seconds on the clock. 3v3 this time. Can Shogunate replicate their success from the previous round? Looks like Flex is prepping himself for a window push. Ruse on the other side. Nabix finds the first kill. That's going to be a 2 versus 3 in favor of the attackers. The plant going down in the smoke, but Smoke himself is injured, and Nabix will find the final kill onto Zorvs, closing out the round as he tried to come back into sight from Kitchen, I think, from Blue Bar, to try and get that final kill on the planter. But fantastic play from Shogunate in these final dying seconds of every single round. They have their positioning down to a T. They know how to execute on their positions, and they're doing it fantastically. And that's how they're putting themselves 3-0 up in rounds that otherwise would look very much defensively favored.
Yeah, it just seems like towards the end of the round, even when you saw Valhalla Berserker bring it back towards the end, but in the late round, it just seems like Shogunate know exactly what to do. They know where they want to plant, and they know how to execute. And as you've seen, 3 rounds in a row, they've managed to, well, win out these rounds in quite spectacular fashion, I must say. And of course, you do see the Berserkers now going to Hooker and Billiards, of course. Well, in ranked anyway, it's the most played site, and even in competitive play, it is widely played, but so it is surprising to see it only now be coming out. I mean, of course, we've seen them try to go to the Blue Bar and Sunrise twice now. Of course, they failed it both times, so they're deciding to divert their attention to this other site.
Yeah, I think after 3 failed rounds, I think diverting your attention to a new site, trying something new and trying to change things up a bit is a good idea. Maybe Shady's forgotten that he's changed it up, but he's opening that bottom of the Blue Bar. I think this is going to lead to an interesting bottom floor hold. You can see they have the Mozzie here trying to deny that roam the drone intel on the roamers on the bottom floor, as well as the Valkyrie, who probably has cams hidden upstairs in the site, trying to get go for those nitro plays from underneath. And I think this is an interesting take on the defense. Playing from below with a nitro isn't something that's unheard of, but Shogunate really seem to know how to take these attacks. You can see the Gemini already going in for early pressure on the bottom floor. There's actually 2 players hidden away in security. Not that the hackers know it right now. They think it's only the one. The pre-fire kind of coming in, but not hitting anything at the moment. It's actually...
Yeah, it seems like a wasted frag grenade being thrown there. I mean, it may open a little line of sight, and I was going to say that the 2 players in security may have been able to get a refrag off each other, but it appears that one of them has decided to rotate around and help a different teammate. As you see, there's 2 players in and around Sunrise. You still have this player contesting security, and, well, Snappy knows he's there, but isn't able to find him just yet. It is Renslow, of course, on that Jaeger, but he's now getting pinched from behind as well. Zorvs is quite close in the bathroom, and he should be able to find the pick if he walks forward just a little bit. But no picks at all have been found just yet.
It's really unfortunate that Rinslow's been able to worm his way out of that pincer hold that the attackers have, and not only worm himself out, but Zorvs has actually found the kill onto one of those members. That's Nabix going down, and Ash now looking super confused by the player that's just looking around, but that's Valkyrie finding the second kill. Zephyr going down. That's your intel gatherer on the Yana falling, but quickly refragged. The Nomad will find Mozzie, so a little bit of a 1-for-1 there. Both removing a nice little bit of intel that can be gained by the attackers and defenders respectively. But we find ourselves in a 3v3 once again. These teams really like the small skirmish games, don't they?
Yeah, seems to be the case. I mean, it's always around this time of the round as well, like the later half, when it starts to come to this like 3 versus 3, 2 versus 2 situation. And as you see, well, the attackers don't really have a strong foothold just yet. They haven't really taken too much control. And as you see, Zorvs is just playing ring around the rosy with these players. He's just, of course he keeps getting pinged, but by the time that intel is found, he's already relocated. And well, that intel is now useless.
Quite right, but they are coming up to 45 seconds. It'll be interesting to see how they're choosing to approach this. The Captain moving onto that hookah balcony, going for that sort of a push rather than the more predominant aqua take. You're going to see the 2 players now, Snappy and Ruse, starting to move towards cool vibes, trying to get that control, deny the attackers, the defenders from using that corridor to rotate between the 2 bomb sites. Couple shots coming out from Rinslow, I believe, behind that deployable shield. Not quite going to hit their mark. Zorv's now in a backup position, but a lovely shot from Shady finding Snappy, and Rinslow's going to find Flex, leaving Ruse in the 1 versus 3 on the rappel. 10 seconds on the clock. What's he going to go for here? Not a lot of options at his disposal, especially with the 3 angles being held. He's going to rappel up.
Yeah, this is done.
Yeah, he's going to see the round out.
Yeah, I mean, the best option from there, obviously, he knew he wasn't winning that round, so just take your time, try to talk to your team. Obviously, they're still winning, but just think how they can attack that side next time around. and try
Yeah,
win it out.
with the 5 seconds left, you're not gonna, unless you're perform some sort of feat of human limit, you're not gonna be able to pull something out of that bag. So just taking it safe, closing it out, keeping your KD intact, it makes a certain amount of sense.
Right, so the Berserkers now going to kitchen once again. I mean, we've seen them fail this once, but of course they have only attempted it once, and well, it was relatively close towards the end. Of course, the last two remaining members of Shogun managed to clutch it out. So it does seem like Berserkers do. Well, the last time around anyway, they had a strong defense. It just fell apart in those last dying seconds.
Yeah, I think the dying seconds have been so crucial in every round so far, and that's the first one that's gone in the way of the Berserkers. Returning now to kitchen when we had that horrific 2 versus 3. I want to call it a throw. I don't think calling it a throw would be unfair. If maybe a little harsh. But you're seeing the same sightlines being opened up by the defenders here, trying to make the most use out of the off-site play, which I think is certainly isn't a bad idea. You've got some, they were able to remove the bug and the ash from play last time very early on, which basically took away the options for the attackers to open up the site from above. But when they do, having those angles off-site, which you can contest the attackers pushing in, I think that's a really nice option to give to the defenders without punishing them too much most of the time.
Yeah. Okay, I can fully see that. Alright. Well, the same push coming in for Shogun once again, but this time they are bringing that IQ, which means, well, the Pulse and the Valkyrie will be less prominent. They'll know that they're playing above, but the player in Penthouse or Theatre, I'm not sure which one it was, has been spotted out. And it seems like there are two players playing upstairs this time. They don't want to give Shogun that foothold too quickly. Of course, their failures on almost every round has been losing that top 4 in such quick time, so they are trying to hold on to it for as long as possible. As you see, Zorvs is staying upstairs. Of course, you did see Rinsler rotate round because he doesn't want to lose his life. You still do have one player upstairs.
Yeah, the key here is going to be getting into that top floor and preserving either the Ash or the Buck. You do have the breaching charges on flex with that IQ now, so that gives you an extra option. Well, the breaching charges when you're up against the Pulse is always a little bit of a dangerous game to go for. First kill Zorz, finding that Yana pushing solo into Aqua. And that's an unfortunate operator to lose, but Snappy quickly going to refrag it. Not quite as valuable as the defenders always are. Slightly at a bit of an advantage if they go 1-for-1 because you don't have a lot of your utility you can drop down and kind of forget about. Place, what's the saying used? Place and forget.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but yeah, I do agree with you there. Like, I mean, the only exception in my eyes would be
Smoke.
I don't know, like losing
Smoke
an
or maybe
Echo or yeah, Smoke Maestro or Echo, I'd say.
But a lot of the times, even with the Maestro, you still have your cam positioned in a way where it's going to see through the critical part of the smoke that you're looking for. So, but yeah, having the control of the cameras is obviously very useful. But glimpsing the player down below him in bathroom as he runs through that hole as it's being made, but not quite able to capitalize here. They are starting to run out of time a little bit, and they haven't got the control that they've been so successful with before.
Oh.
But Snappy getting a very quick kill onto Rizzo. That's the Malusi holding that angle too hard, potentially, but losing it out either way, and it's going to force James to rotate down towards site. Snappy being taken to critical HP by Shady, but Flex will quickly find Tomcat. And it's going to be the 4 versus 2. 20 seconds, but this should give them enough time to position themselves, as they have previously, in a fantastic manner to close out the round in a comfortable fashion. The first smoke canister coming out here, the second one being thrown down long as there's 10 seconds on the clock. Player in bathroom, but James able to find the first kill onto Snappy. He was 1 HP, but he's going to go down either way. Nabik's finding another, but Shady will catch Flex in the smoke. The plant has to go down, but there's not enough time as it's down in long, and that's going to be a very close clutch for Berserkers. Too close for comfort. But putting another round on the board will never hurt your chances, and they're going to be happy that they were able to do at least that.
Yeah, I mean, they have managed to win out these 2 rounds in a row, but this does mean that they're going to have to go back to the Blue Ball and Sunrise again. Of course, they could go Penthouse, but, well, I don't think anyone wants to be going Penthouse in this day and age. Well, so yeah, they are going Blue Bar and Sunrise, and it's been their worst defended site so far. They're really going to have to change up some sort. I don't know what they can change. I mean, obviously they could put Rinsler on the roam, and maybe slow down the attack. But even still, if he gets taken out, then I think it'll just go the same way as it always has.
And we're seeing that pick from the Capital onto the IQ once again, choosing to forego the fire and smoke in favor of that intel. The defenders going back to this bars with the second iteration of their defense, the one that they nearly were able to win. It was a lot closer that time. Not quite able to close it out, however.
Alright, so I think both of the impact grenades have just been used on that service wall, the service triple. I'm not too sure though. I mean,
yeah,
we have seen.
They've been using it previously there so they can hold the angle from kitchen towards main lobby, and that gives them a little bit more of a pinch between their kitchen player and their player in security. But it looks like Zephyrin's actually managed to sneak a drone right into security there, and that's going to provide a lot of intel on the defenders holding that area if they choose to go for a more office-sided take.
Attackers are heading out to defuse.
So yeah, it seems like Renzo is going to try Rome, and obviously maybe Zorbs as well, as we have seen previously, but even still, when you've got this IQ and obviously a direct counter to Vigil, I don't think he's going to last long, and once again, you are seeing these attackers go for this main side take, most likely taking control of Penthouse and Theater first, and then working their way on towards the other side of the map, and, well, right above the site. I mean, of course, we have seen them bring this book almost, I think, every single round. Of course, they need this self-destruction, and I think Book is the better option than Sledge at the minute, considering how much the Berserkers have been playing Pulse quite a lot, so...
Well, we'll have to see how the round plays out. You've got a nice little double peek here with the Jaeger and the Ramai being able to play off of each other to fend off any attackers if either of them gets in harm's way. But a very quick take of the top floor here for the attackers is going to put them in a very lovely position. We're seeing the same thing time in, time out. They're getting this control snappy on that VIP balcony, is getting quickly into VIP. Let's hope they can be a little more fruitful on their attack this time than in the previous round where they started to falter a little bit and the defenders ended up winning that on time. But time is a valuable asset for the defenders and you have to play around that as the attackers. So it's not something to take away from them. Flex starting to move in now. Hopefully they're going to be able to find out any gadgets below them, start to get open that floor. But it looks like he's going out onto VIP balcony, so I'm not quite sure which way he wants to rotate here. But Zephyr finding out James on the floor above him, getting opened up by that buck. The pre-fire's coming in. Is he going to be able to... He looks like he's just going to run out, but the player on the window is taken out by James. The wonderful flick onto Snappy. He's going to be left with a sliver of HP, but that's enough to keep going.
And I mean, especially losing an Ashe. I mean, the amount of utility an Ashe has gotten now. I mean, oh, a C4 goes out and takes out Nabix as well. I was going to say how much soft destruction Ashe has now, but, well, all the soft destruction's gone, other than the breaching charges that they have at their disposal. Zephyr gets injured, but he should be able to get picked up if the one man doesn't realise that he is injured. But it seems like he does, and he really wants this kill. I think Flex may be able to get a free kill if he knows the location. The wallbang comes in, but the refrag is instantly traded back out. So there's 40 seconds left to push.
A little bit of confusion around what was going on with that injured player, but Ruse is going to be able to find Zorvs, and that's going to put them in that 2v2 now, back to the small number games. Flex and Ruse have been able to put a couple rounds on the board together, but Ruse is going to be quickly dismantled by the SMG-11 in the hand of Shady. It's now Flex in that 1v2, knows where one of them is, isn't quite aware of the other's position, but he's going to have to push for that 1v1. No, he's falling into blue bar, has the diffuser in hand. Here's the air jab going off, and that's going to be on Cool Vibes. Knows that the two defenders are going to push him. He's in the 1 versus 2, numbers disadvantage. And the drop from James coming in is going to spot him out on the diffuser, but Flex is going to get him on the turn. Falls back to the comfort of the blue bar, but as he's running out of the site, he's going to be picked up by Shady. What are you doing, Flex? Just hold your position. You're at such a powerful spot. But he's going to be taken out by Shady, and Shady will secure the clutch, closing out the round by disabling the diffuser.
Yeah, very just a misplay coming out for that IQ there. They had a very strong position, but they decided to try rotate for a better one. Well, that just wasn't the right call, as you saw. Shady just playing on the rotate, got a free pick, and well, it's all even. I mean, it's nice to see that they finally managed to successfully defend that site, but I don't think it was more on the strategy, it was more on just the frivolous kills that they just kept getting.
Yeah, they were able to just win out some key gunfights, but now we're going to see the defenders returning to Hookah Billiards. They won it out last time. 3 versus 1 at the end. So this could be a 4-3 half in favor of Berserkers after what you can't call other than a slow start. There's no other way to put it. But this is a fantastic comeback they're making against Shogunate, starting to put the rounds back on the board, put it in their favor on Coastline, which is arguably the only attacker-sided map in the map pool. Consulate potentially up with it.
Alright, so... Well, they're going back to Hooker. I mean, I think they've defended this once, and yeah, they defended it once, and I'm pretty sure that it was successful as well, so... Statistically, it is their best defended site so far. We're just going to have to see if they can repeat that same progress like they did on the last time they defended here. They managed to win it out, and well, this is the remember, this is the last round of the split. And like you said, it's more of an attacker-favoured map usually, so if they can finish the defensive half at 4-3 in their favour, then they will be in the stronger positioning.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how they choose to address the attack coming in from Shogunate, as I'd imagine we're going to see a very similar Aqua take as they did before, clearing out below from Office. And there's the Office door being opened up as we speak, trying to clear out. James running around, maybe not quite aware of the attackers already so far in. He's been baited a little bit out by that Gemini, but guns ready, takes Zappy out of play. Very nice shot from him. The awareness of seeing that it's a Gemini, it's a fake, and getting gun ready at the spot where he expects the attacker. That's brilliant game sense being shown by him now. You see a couple defenders downstairs trying to stop the attackers from pushing into the building at any spot. They're playing a very aggressive hold on this one.
So, like you said, your entry frag is gone. Some amazing game sense from James, and well, it does seem like this round at the moment is falling in favour of the Berserkers. Of course, there are still a lot of players around to try and get these refrags, and one almost gets brought out, but close, but no cigar just yet. Only a minute has been gone so far. So, well, there is still a lot of time and to take these strong positions and go for the execute, but in this man disadvantage, at the moment, it just doesn't seem as likely.
Yeah, I mean, it's Coastline, and Coastline's where the magic happens. This is, you never know, you never count the attackers or defenders out of a round in this map. The defenders are looking like they're very comfortable in their positioning here. Lovely bit of parkour coming out from Zorves to get an angle down to the main lobby where you can see the Z pings coming out. They're aware of the location.
Yeah, it just seems like these attackers are quite stuck at the minute. They've got nowhere to go. No place to go home. There's so many defenders around them, but Flicks finally manages to take out James. He's just been playing on that roam for so long. And he's wasted 2 minutes of their time.
Yeah, there is, like you said, 2 minutes gone, but in the 4 versus 4, they should be able to organize themselves into a nice push, and we're gonna say it again because it's true. They are very clinical in the closing seconds of the round.
So, oh, but the nice angle being held by Shady, and he manages to injure Flex playing below in Office, and that's the diffuser dropped. However, Ruse is there to aid him. Should be able to get the revive, so it will still be a 4 versus 4, but there's now only 35 seconds left. So, at the moment, it seems like the Berserkers may be able to pull out this last round, but of course, like you said, Shogunate are a very good attacking team in those last dying seconds.
Having 3 smoke canisters on the board still might change that, however. They're going to get smoked out, and Flex finding his first kill. He did injure Flex earlier, but now he will claim that kill. Kill confirmed, and they're going to start pushing in Navix in a little bit of smoke here, in an uncomfortable position behind the benches. Ruse walking right in front of him, and that's going to be the Cage swinging. Finding one, doesn't know that the plant's going down right next to him maybe, but he's going to swing.
There you go.
Shady with the kill onto Ruse and Zephyr, stuck on that rappel, can't quite close out the round as he swings in through the window. It's been an unfortunate end to the half for Shogunate, losing 3 in a row, I believe.
4
in a row after their 3.
Yeah, so they started off really strong, but then it just started to slip away, and well, 4 rounds went in favour of the Berserkers. Of course, now the sides have switched. Berserkers are on the attack, but it's usually an attacker-favoured map, but at the moment we have seen it to be more of a defender-sided Coastline. At the moment anyway, but of course, Shogunate could change that. They're on the defence. We don't know how they play.
And I was going to say the biggest change in these 2 approaches was the introduction of the Hibana on the side of Valhalla, but then we see the Lion get picked. I think this is a fantastic operator on this map. Personally, I'd run the 417 and sit on the roof, but they're going to the bottom floor, so maybe not quite as powerful as a position to hold once you've cleared the roamers out. Still powerful until then. But the Lion, because of how open Coastline is as a map, Lion being able to hold the defenders in position, even if it is just for the 2 seconds now, I think is really strong at just pinching them in a spot and being able to push them fast and quick. So I'd love to see how they make the best use out of his gadgetry, but the Habana also is a big change. Going to be able to open up some of these walls, get into the site, where previously you couldn't see Shogun playing around with the map in such a way. Could open up the potential for an office push, or maybe even opening up the wall right next to Flex where Shady was sat himself.
Well, like you were saying, you were talking about that Lion, but if you look inside of Shogunate, well, they have a direct counter, being Vigil. As well as you also see Valhalla bringing the Sledge instead of that book. So, I mean, in total, I think you can open a little bit more, but it's just, obviously it's a bit more dangerous considering the amount of C4s that could be used to potentially get thrown back in your face, and, well, Shogun have 2 of them. Of course, they don't have any intel operator to, well, notify if someone's there, but maybe a random C4 could find this Sledge at some point.
Well, the intel is the wood falling away at your head, but...
Yeah, I guess so.
It is still a little bit of a luck game when you have to try and predict which direction the sledge is going to go after opening up the floor. Because most sledges won't stand still above the hole they just made. As I say that, Zorl's just looking straight through, kind of doing the opposite of what I said. Proving me wrong.
Look at this though. They got rid of those mute jammers, and I mean, if the Hibana was pushing through service, that kitchen angle could have been opened in their favor, and maybe they could have cleared out Ruse, but I don't think the Berserkers know of Ruse's location. They haven't thrown him out just yet, so he should be able to just stay there, be a rock in his position for a little while anyway. I mean, none of the Lions guns have been used yet either.
Yeah, they haven't thrown him out, but I feel like when you see that double reinforcement, you should expect the player playing upstairs. That was a Nitro Cell thrown out, going to do nearly lethal damage, but he will be finished off with the P10 Roni in the hands of Ruse. So that's going to be the first kill of the round, and the first kill of the half after the side swap, going in favor of Shogunate. Maybe they can start off their half as strong as they started off the last. Zephyr in a pretty undetected spot here in security, although you do kind of expect the Vigil to be here on his roam, trying to slow down your push into the office, but a minute 10 on the round. You haven't really seen any sizable control taken for the attackers. They have that top floor control above office now, but how they're able to hold back this Vigil is going to be an interesting one for the sure. His scanner does actually deny the Lion gadget intel when it's active, and they've fallen back into office. They have that control position with Navix on that crossfire with him, and that's going to be a second quick kill for Ruse, using that angle that they've opened up previously to great advantage, finding out Tomcat. That is your hard breacher gone. That's a lot of the options you had available due to that pick off the table. Rinsler now trying to find a cross peak, but no one really holding it with him, and he's got to be careful or he's going to lose his own life. He takes no damage while dealing half to Ruse, but that's not really enough.
Finally,
it will be enough at the end.
Well, the refrag instantly gets brought back as well as James gets taken out, but refrag's just raining in for both sides. 20 seconds left and they have to push in, but Flex is there at the ready using the angle that we saw Shady use so well last time round. It's a 1 versus 3. He's going to have to push in the site. He does manage to find one, almost finds the second. Oh, it takes a little bit of HP off him, but with still two players to find, he's not winning this one out. And Shogunate close out this round at a very strong defensive half.
Yeah, and you just think when you're in that position and you're trying to push through bathroom, they spent so long trying to get that player out. When they had all the utility they needed to do it, they had the sledge above, they could have made use of that Habana to get the wall opened. It's just an oversight, I think, and a bit of a miscommunication, not quite all on the same page with what they're trying to do. You then saw the split once they had that kitchen control, trying to rotate towards office, rotating back again, just a little bit of indecisiveness, costing a lot of time in this round, trying to rotate across half the bottom floor, and that's just kind of plays that are really going to fall into the defender's advantage. But we're going to see a site change here towards kitchen service entrance. Interesting adaptation, bringing that Goyo. First time we've seen him on the map, but a very powerful operator, providing you 2 shields, a much sought after commodity after the recent removal from Wamai and Valkyrie. Well, we just have to see how this changes up, but a last-minute swap from the Zofia onto the Jackal, so really trying to pinch them with the Jackal and the Lion, trying to catch those roamers off guard. Going to be a little bit more useful for finding that Vigil where the Lion scanner is not, but we'll just have to see how things change in this round.
Alright, so yeah, like you said, they're now diverting to kitchen. And they've also brought the Gale, but well, on the attacking side, they've got that Jackal. They want to roam clear much faster. I mean, the last time round, especially Ruse. Obviously, he was playing that Mozzie, just playing in kitchen. They didn't get him out of his position for almost the entire round. Of course, he eventually died, but by that time, they were stuck in kitchen. They had to push through that double door, and well, they just got picked off. So, adaptation is going to have to be made. Of course, the Mozzie isn't in play, and it is the Goyo, but even still, a powerful operator. And especially when you combine it with the ADSs. I mean, of course, the recent change makes them not as powerful as they were, but even still, removing those Goyo shields is a must.
Yeah, and it's going to cause an obstacle which the attacker's going to have to deal with at some point, especially in the way they've positioned them, where they are in those choke points. They are going to be where you want to take that control as the attackers, but we're seeing very quick swings onto this VIP balcony. The Jackal's going to be huge at closing down these roamers, checking for footprints to see if it's clear. It's a pseudo-drone work, but you're going to see the mute there just falling back through master bedroom. The drone getting caught on a jammer. Nice placement there. 4 players on this VIP balcony and 2 defenders upstairs trying to deal with it.
Alright.
The early swing from Rizzler going to try and quick peek it, but he's exposed to an angle. The trigger discipline on Ruse, making the Ashe feel like she's safe. She's in control, only to take her head and take her out the round right after she feels so much power.
I'm not gonna lie, at the moment it does seem like you said last round, Valhalla are really indecisive at the push they want to go for. We do now see, however, Zorvs is finding those feet. Of course, it is the mute, so he's not in the sight, but straight after, wastes that first one, and, well, never mind. He's just been taken up by that C4 from Ruse, who is now retreating out of theatre into the relative safety. So they're only now starting to take control of the penthouse side of the map, but there are still these players lurking around the area. Of course, you have the player on 90 and the player just outside theatre at the top of the main stairs. So no foothold being created just yet.
James rocking that festive skin on his weapon, but he's trying to find Ruse behind that shield. He can't quite get the right angle, and this is an amazing bunker position that they've formulated inside of VIP, and that's another inside of theatre. Sorry, that's another quick shot coming down onto the Nomad, bringing her to 1 HP, but Ruse finding the triple on the round, trading Shady for Snappy.
And look
now
at
managed
this.
to get the down on Tomcat. He's not being stopped. The man is a machine, one-man army.
And there
that's
you go.
going to be the ace.
Yeah, Ruse just with a quick ace. He is not letting control of theatre. He's not letting you take control. You're not doing any soft destruction today, Valhalla.
Your chat is huge.
Right, so such a convincing round for Shogunate. Ruse is just insane playing that top 4. We've seen him on these, like, we saw him on the last round as well, playing in kitchen. He managed to find those picks, and Stylix is there spiting Golu by making the chat even bigger. Oh no.
It's fine. I didn't want to see the game anyway.
Yeah, neither.
Well, the change now, Hookah Billy is coming out. Can they put their 3rd round in a row? 2 so far. Bringing back the Jackal. They haven't been bringing the Habana in recent rounds. Tomcat moving on to that Nomad role instead. It's an interesting change.
Of course, like you said, we haven't seen them bring in the Habana, but maybe they feel it's not necessary. I mean, the only walls that really need to get opened on this map, obviously Penthouse is not really a played site whatsoever, but I'd say it's that quad wall that you see Ruse reinforcing now, and maybe the office wall into Blue Bar if they're playing that site as well. So maybe they feel like it's not necessary. However, you see that. There's an interesting rotation hole being made by Zephyr. I mean, it can give you the angle all the way into VIP, or even into the bathroom in Penthouse, if you keep that open and if you open the necessary walls. We're not seeing that happen yet.
10 seconds to insertion.
I think it's an interesting adaptation, something we haven't seen this game, so I'm quite keen to see it work, just so we can get a nice showcase of this interesting play from Shogunate. But either way, we're going to be moving into the action phase now. It's going to see the attackers starting to approach from poolside, just moving up towards the building, trying to take that VIP control once again, set themselves up with a foothold. Be interesting to see how they choose to rotate their pressure. Whether they go for that Aqua, more standard take, if they go for a hooker push. We saw that coming out from Valhalla, trying to push that side of the map, and from Shogunate. I don't think it's as successful as the Aqua push. We saw them both times that Hookah was played, trying to push in from Hookah balcony, and I feel like it gives you just too little space to play around. You don't have a proper foothold into the building. I feel like that just really hampers your ability to make a final push. But a quick shoulder shot coming out onto Snappy from Zorvs. He swung that, trying to go for something when he really shouldn't have. Chasing down a drone. His foot is going to be caught out here by Rinsler. No, he just doesn't quite realize what it is.
Oh no, he's safe behind the wall, so I don't think it was his foot. But even still, I do think it was I do think he should have been taken out in that situation. Of course, he's stuck on the net, you know, he has so many players around him, so he's going to be very careful going for these swings. But never mind, he's just very careless, and well, he gets picked up for his careless decision.
Fool me once, shame on me. Shame on you, fool me twice, shame on you. But as we talk about shame, that's a terrible push from Zeph, and he's going to get quickly picked up by Zorvs, making a lot of noise walking up that staircase there. Even if he thought he was being a little bit sneaky, not going to catch Valhalla unaware, and that's going to really force the defenders into an uncomfortable position. 3 versus 5, and that's aqua control nearly obtained for the attackers. Sorry, I should say, not the defenders. They've just seized it.
So it seems a bit strange because well, Rinsler managed to find the pick under Snappy, but well, he can't find to shoot the camera. So yeah, a minute and 5 seconds left, and the attacker's in such a huge advantage. But well, if you see Flex in his position, he can use that smoke, the smoke glitch through the wall to deny the plan without exposing himself whatsoever, but he does have the player on the hallway pushing up as well. Rinsler does collect that kill onto Nabix with that Ash breaching ground, and it's a 2 versus 5. They're in a very difficult position. Flex manages to finally get an opening pick for Shogun, but maybe it's too little too late.
Yeah, you're going to see the third and finals line charge coming out now as the plant goes down with Shady. The smoke glitch coming in. It's a little bit late. It's going to catch his health bar as you see it ticking down slowly, but he's going to be caught out. That's Flex killing Rinsler, but he's going to lose his teammate in Ruse. He's left on 1 HP on the bomb currently, but as a defender, he's stuck in a position where the attackers have a very clean sightline, and then we see Zorvs quickly showing why he was so vulnerable, catching him out. And there we go, that's round going in favor of Berserkers. They've finally been able to put an attack on the board, bring it to a tie at 5-5. Reminder that it is first to 8, so both teams still 3 rounds away from a victory on our first map in this best of 2.
Yeah, just remember though, there is no overtime, so if one of those teams gets to that 7-point mark, well, they're at least confirmed a point. And then, well, the other team will have to come back and, well, somehow get it to a draw. Of course, we aren't there just yet. It is 5-5, and, well, Shogunate now diverting to Blue Bar and Sunrise. In my eyes, they've defended this site so well, especially Ruse on the Mozzie, like we're seeing once again, playing in Kitchen. Oh, and it seems like, yeah, the Berserkers are going to take a timeout.
Well, we have 1 minute to sit and wonder what they are sitting and wondering. Whether it's a technical difficulty or whether they just want some time to chat. Is it a tactical timeout? Is that a thing?
Alright, nice. So tactical timeout sort of thing now, and I mean, I like that. It gives, it gives them time to just think how they want to push, if they can somehow manage to think how they can take the lead. Of course, they want to take the lead, well, so does Shogun as well, but they're not going to have to...
Sorry, go.
No, it's because obviously we saw how well Shogun defended this last time. I really think they may be just taking this time to think, how do we clear these Roamers out?
Got the memo. Interesting. So, after this short timeout, and obviously Shogun would still have had the time to talk, so we'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen with these teams. What changes have been introduced for Valhalla on their attacks. Maybe they saw something in that last push that they hadn't quite realized prior, but the Capital came back into play instead of that Lion, so maybe feeling that they're not getting quite the value out of it that they feel they should be getting out of such a pick.
Right, well, that's an interesting rotate being made by Shogun there. I mean, it's on the opposite side of where you usually see it, and my main issue with that is if office control gets taken, well, none of the defenders can play on those couches now, because of course you get the angle all the way onto the couches. I mean, you don't get the angle down towards the corner of the bar, but they've opened the bottom of the wall there anyway, so it's not really going to be a problem.
It's an interesting adaptation, whether that's just a missed throw of a grenade. They haven't reinforced any walls along that side, instead choosing to move them off-site, taking some control a little bit upstairs as well as in that kitchen area. But it looks like the attacker's just going to completely forego that section of the map for now, at least.
Well,
I mean, if you're going for an office-sided take, as long as you have your flank covered, you have that main lobby someone watching that main lobby, you don't really need to worry about the player in kitchen. There's another player nearby supporting him on Cool Vibe, and someone else applying that security. So you're kind of walking into a gun like words.
Oh, yeah, well, words don't work ever. Alright, well, as you see, it seems the attackers are really intrigued about this Smoke's position. They're gonna have to try and get him out. The Firebolt is gonna do that, which it should allow them to walk into Sunrise and mean that pivotal corner that has been played by both teams is now no longer accessible. So now, as you see, they're making their way into Mudroom, starting to take control. It seems like they are going to be going for a Sunrise take, but the only issue is that they haven't found any picks, but there we go, I eat my words, as Zorvs finds the first pick onto Nabix.
And that's going to put Flex in an uncomfortable position. He's behind the bar, second smoke canister already come out. He only has one left in his pocket. I don't know if he's feeling a little bit more pressured than he really is, but that's his last one out already. He's going to do a little bit of damage to snap Shady on the bar window, but that's Ruse being brought to a critical HP, and actually his foot being found by Rinza, and that's going to be him down and out of action.
And well, it seems to be that, well, Valhalla have seen that the roam clear isn't working, and instead they are going to be going for just pushing directly into sight. But I'm not sure if it's going to be working at the moment. Of course, you do see Flex has no more of the smoke canisters, but the frag's still going in the way of Shogunate.
Yeah, and Snappy able to find that kill onto Tomcat, and an Injure coming out onto Rinza, put them at a little bit of a disadvantage, but the quick kill from Zorbs picking him off the table, and that's going to bring back the player who's done the most, had the most influence in this round off the table now. It's down to Zephyr and Flex, whether they can close this one out, see it off, and bring themselves up to a winning position. I wouldn't say for the first time, but they were up at half-time, so...
Yeah. It seems like Valhalla are going for a bit of an adaptation now. Mudroom is just too tight to try push into, so they're going to go for more open take through office, as well as the pinch from kitchen. As you do see Zorvs pushing from there, but Zephyr does find one, and he finds the second onto James as well, and it's all on Zorvs. He has to try pushing the site. He has two players to find, and it was this situation last time round, and the same outcome once again. Shogunate winning out Blue Bar and Sunrise, and put themselves in that winning position.
Yeah, even from the man advantage, Valhalla weren't quite ready to push it. They didn't push together, they weren't in sync, and they lost out to Shogunate because of it. That's a wonderful capitalization by Zephyr, finding that double kill when neither attacker was gun ready, but Flex holding off that bar, forcing them to rotate round, even though he used those smoke canisters preemptively. I think, that's a good job on the defense, playing their time and playing their positioning really well.
Yeah, I fully agree with you there. It seemed like Berserkers were in such a strong position, but I just have to say, the plays that Vigil made, just finding both of those picks, it definitely won them that round. And now, they're going to be going kitchen and service, and of course the last time they were here was, oh, everything froze? I'm confused.
Attackers have located a bomb.
What's got you going?
Well, the stream's froze.
Oh. Try to reboot it. It's functioning fine.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, the last time they went kitchen, but that was when, well, Bruise shredded their entire team. So let's see if that can happen again.
Yeah, and they're setting up themselves in the same way. They have Snappy setting up the ADSs for himself on 90 to try and keep that control and keep Bruise's back covered. The shield's in the same spot, or should be coming out into the same spot any second now. It'll be interesting to see how the attackers choose to change things up. The problem they ran into was just running into that meat grinder right in Bruise's line of sight. Yeah. It looks like they're setting themselves up for more of a bars take this time. Trying to come from the back end of things, try and take that control. Zephyr's hiding away inside of Pink. He's ready to take on the first wave.
Even though Berserkers are on the back foot, they are losing it. I like the fact that they don't want to do the same push twice, especially the fact that they got rinsed the last time they tried it. So they are making these adaptations with their pushes, and I do really like that. They're changing up the strategy, and it just makes me think. I do like the fact that, like, obviously you see quite a lot of teams, they just try to go for the same push a lot of the time, but well, going for the different push doesn't really change anything. As you see, Snappy and Nabix both find the first two opening picks onto the side of Berserkers.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate one. Not really a ton you can do. in this position now. The 5 versus 3 upstairs control still maintained by 3 defenders, and opening that hatch now Mute with that shotgun is going to give them a nice little escape route when they want to ditch their top floor positions. The attack are very split up at this point. They're going to have to try and find a way to regroup and set up something else, go for another push, but Snappy starting to get a little bit aggressive with his positioning, trying to just catch someone out when they're not quite ready for it.
Alright.
The rotate now coming into effect as we're going to see Tomcat picking up the first kill. Snappy in that position, but a lovely quick peek by Zephyrin's going to take out Rinsler. That's going to be the Ash off the table. Shady and Tomcat, 2 versus 4. They have a task ahead of them. Now, holding the close angle. I don't think Tomcat's quite wearing. He's going to slow peek around the corner, and that's going to be the head, but a preemptive shot from Nabix, not quite hitting the target. The second spray will. Shady in the 1 versus 2. They know exactly where he is. And that's going to be Ruse. 5 the last time, only 1 on this time, but it will be the last.
Well, you know what this means now. Of course, Shogun winning 75 at the moment. They're now confirmed a point. The only way is to draw now. Berserkers can only draw this map.
Yeah, and I think you'd be happy with taking a point here, but obviously that's not what you would have wanted in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get 3 points, then surely, well, you'd want to go for 3 points, and we're not seeing that today by the side of Berserkers, especially, well, on this first map anyway. And well, for potentially the last defense of this match, they are going to Hooker and Billards. And of course, the last time they defended here, it wasn't successful, I don't think.
No, they weren't able to win it out.
So, yeah,
have to come up with some sort of adaptation here to change that and put themselves in that winning position. Obviously, they do have a round in pocket, so they can afford to lose one more going to 7-6 and then close it out 8-6, but obviously that's not ideal, as that puts you in very close territory of a draw if you don't win that last round out. And after being up 7-5, you really don't want to be ending up in a draw. You have that 2-round break, essentially.
Alright. So, you were talking about adaptations, and I mean, of course, Shogun may adapt where they place their plays, but I'll pray adaptation being made on the side of the Berserkers. They're now bringing that Blackbeard. They're in a dire position. They really need to win out these next 2 rounds and get the draw. So they're most likely they're going to be playing that Blackbeard on some of these crucial windows to cut off the rotations, cut off the lines of sight, and just all of these things that can be done by the defender. The Blackbeard can just cut them all off by holding the angles against them with that big ass face shield that everyone hates.
Yeah, we're going to see a quick movement from Ruse here. Him and Zephyr setting up a nice little pincer. They're playing off of each other really well so far this map, and they're going to keep doing that by being in positions where they're able to swing, give each other a little bit of support should one get pushed out of their current position. But it looks like all 5 attackers are going to be moving towards that VIP balcony, try and gain that top floor control. Snappy in a position previously held by Ruse, but nothing going to be too worried about that. Zephyr with a couple quick shots onto the Zephyr, but it's actually going to be the Rinsler on Ash, finding him and taking him out of play. The first Habana pellets being used to open up that 90 angle to try and deny that position to the defenders, but a quick shot from Snappy as he swings in through that master bedroom doorway, taking out the Ash. But quickly eliminated by the Blackbeard, popping a shield in the process, but that is the power of the Blackbeard.
Yeah, I mean, the angles that the attackers opened up, you got used against them. I mean, the refrag did come in, and Berserkers are in the advantage on this site once again. But, oh, no. So, Zorv just accidentally shot Tomcat. He took about 20 to 30 HP off him, which, in the long run, may not be a great situation. So, yeah, the last 3 defenders now, you see 2 of them on site, both of those SMG-11 operators, and then you have Ruse playing below. With, he has a Nitro in his hands that he could use to, well, destroy any attacker playing in Aqua, or maybe even the side, but of course they don't have any cameras.
Yeah, and that's the power of that Habana there, is forcing that smoke out of his position. I think that's why Hard Breach, while not mandatory, is still always so helpful on coastline. And now Smoke's in a really uncomfortable position. He will get caught out by James, the Blackbeard, with the double kill so far in this round. Potentially more, but that's left the defenders in a 2 versus 4. The Mozzie Mute power couple, can they get anything done here?
Yeah, I mean, there's only 1 minute and 5 seconds left, but Ruse should be able to find an easy pick here. The plant's going down, but Ruse doesn't see the player, and the player doesn't see him. So this is a very unfortunate situation. Finally, The Zofia does notice him, and Bruce is in a 1v4.
Yeah,
Has to
looks like
defuse
Bruce
this.
just didn't recognize him there, but a lovely spray, just randomly shooting through the wall there. Not randomly, but, you know, trying to just... A bit of a pot shot through the wall there. It's going to catch out Ruse in the head, and that's going to be Valhalla pulling one back, 7-6 now. This is what we were talking about. You don't want to be in this position as Shogunite. You have the power to close out this map, to secure those first 3 points before you move on to the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Haven't been quite able to do that, and that's going to be a little bit discomforting. Hopefully they can keep it together, close out. They have one more round. They're going back to Blue Bar. They won this one the last time. They won it the time before that, if I'm not
Yeah, they haven't lost Blue
remembering
Bar.
incorrectly. So there we go.
Yeah, so Blue Bar's their strongest site so far. So, unreal. I mean, it doesn't... Berserkers really have to change something. I mean, they tried to the last time round, and it all fell apart. They have to change things up. They have to like do a massive change, or just find these picks necessary. I mean, of course, you do see them bring the Blackbeard once again, who did manage to find 1 or 2 picks on that last round. Then he's gonna have to keep up this momentum to somehow bring this map to a draw.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
That could be a tall order for him in this round. He did get a double kill in the last one, which was wonderfully helpful in closing out that previous round. But now, it's a new round, Blackbeard back in play. We'll have to see if things change. So the same setup coming in now. They haven't got that Capital, which is what was able to get them that control of the bar, force that Smoke out of position in the first place. So with that change, Smoke should be able to sit in this position behind the shield for a little bit longer. They're going to have to use, I believe all 3 ADSs have gone onto that shield. They're protecting it, so they're going to have to burn all the ADSs before they can blow it up and then finally force that Smoke out of position. We'll just have to see how things change.
Alright, so it seems like, well, yeah. Well, the Berserkers are going for the... It seems like they're going to go for the push that we saw... Well, SHO going to go for every single attacking round. Of course, taking that main side first and then working their way up. But no, it seems like they're just going to rush straight into the lobby. Of course, Zorv's getting droned in, but, well, once again, you do see Ruse playing in that power position in kitchen. Once again, finds that opening pick onto Zorv's.
I'm so confused how someone can play the same spot 2 rounds, both times they've been on this site, have the same angle up and get a kill on that angle every single round. They're just carelessly throwing lives away. And honestly, that's been the biggest difference in this match. Like, the rounds that Shogunate have been putting together, a lot of the time have been, like, really finely executed pushes in, like, towards the end of the round. But James, doesn't matter. Execution doesn't matter with a Blackbeard. You just close him out, and that's a one-tap on Ruse, closing down to that powerful position that the attackers have been struggling to deal with. Finally dealt with.
So yeah, like you said, I mean, on the last time they were here, Ruse played that position so well, and I think he found 2, maybe even 3 picks. So he has been shut down, bringing it to a 4v4. And the Berserkers have so much time, but they have to drone effectively, they have to be careful with their push, because of course they are still on the back foot here. They need to get this draw, and not let Shogunate get these 3 points.
Yeah, you can see them starting to take control of security, trying to push their way up into office, but that's a little bit damage done onto the Blackbeard. His shield gone, going to be replacing that and getting ready for round 2, but now it's swinging past the Blackbeard onto Tomcat, taking a lot of damage in the process, and throwing that Nitro is going to land right on Blackbeard. That's going to catch James for the double kill. A little bit of damage dealt onto Smoke from the angle, on the mute, sorry, from the angle. Wait, no, that wasn't to Smoke, but he took none, never mind.
I heard the shot though, however. But...
Yeah, I thought I heard the sound of someone taking damage, but apparently none was dealt.
So,
a little bit of quick peeking behind
there
the bomb, but
finally.
Going to hold that angle, close down Flex. That's the player there, sees the foot of the Jaeger, but
doesn't manage to find him. So yeah,
Snappy, getting that replay.
Shady in a 1 versus 3, 35 seconds left. He does manage to find the Legion, who just, I guess, wants to kiss the wall, I guess. He's trying to hide away. So both players in Sunrise. He has the diffuser. He could possibly go for that plant in Blue Bar, but I mean, it's just not looking too great. I mean, I don't know if Nabix has a C4. If he does, then that is plant denial. But
there's no skins in play.
No, it was a Pro League Jaeger. It was the G2 Jaeger.
Oh, G2 Jaeger, right? Okay, that's what.
Yeah, wait, yeah. So they don't have that C4, and maybe he should be able to confirm that plant. But no, he gets off at the last second. The player pushes round, however. Nabix closes it out. SHO gonna take map 1.
I think that was a kind of clumsy round from the attack, and I really didn't like the fact that they were kind of relying on this Blackbeard clutch to get their picks for them. It just didn't quite, rub me the wrong way. But either way, Shogun are able to close out the round and close out map number 1. That's 3 points on the board, and we'll be hitting you with a clubhouse for map number 2 when we get to that.
Well,
I can't breathe, I can't sleep tonight, knowing I might wake up alone tomorrow. I can't breathe, I can't close my eyes, 'cause there's a feeling somewhere inside. I can't breathe, I can't sleep tonight, knowing I might wake up alone tomorrow. I can't breathe, I can't close my eyes, 'cause there's a feeling somewhere inside.
Right, well, welcome back. This is map number 2. Of course, you saw the last map ended at 8-6 in favour of Shogunate. Of course, it was their map, so it was pretty close. And Berserkers have chosen to go to Clubhouse, the first ban from Shogunate's side being the Thatcher. Now, unless Berserkers ban Maverick, well, he will be in play. Oh, okay. Alright, so
Pleasure.
maybe the Maverick ban will come in. We'll just have to wait and see. And there it is. So, I mean, obviously, for the first half, Berserkers will have a harder time getting rid of these bandits. Of course, they can go below. And I'm expecting a Cade ban to come in, or a Mirror. And yeah, there we go, Cade. Which means the bandit chicken, on CC wall especially, should be able to get dealt with. Oh well. Alright. And the final ban coming on the side of Shogunate will be the Maestro. I mean, I think Maestro is having a very sad time at the minute. So is Thatcher. They've both been banned 2 maps in a row. And well, no Italian meatball man.
I want to see Echo. I want to see Zero.
Oh, I want to see Zero. I just want to see Tachenko. Alright, so CCTV and Cash will be the first defended site. I mean, that is expected. And look at this. They're bringing the mute, and I'm not sure if actually, yeah, there it is. The bandit is getting played, but so is the mute. They're just going to try to deny the drones, maybe try to hold onto that wall as long as possible. But without a doubt, it is quite often, well, more often than not anyway, that, well, the wall will get open, but we are seeing a 6-pick from the bandit to the castle. So, I don't know.
Oh, excellent, keeps them.
Hold up. Ring ding 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 ding.
That's what you sent me in the DMs. I didn't want to buy one from you, but like.
Wait, what? Hold up! You can't be saying this. Oh yeah, the FBI are gonna turn up at my house now.
Yeah, I respect the hustle either way. You know?
What? It's my little sister. Come on, man.
That's even worse.
Yeah, she just whines constantly. She's literally nah. If someone broke in the house, she'd be the house alarm. Wah. Wah, like that. Alright, anyway, back to the game. So, the castle pick, especially with the site, is extremely interesting. I guess it must mean that Shogunate do have an intricate strat up their sleeve. It's the first round, they're going to bring out this strange strategy. If it works for them, then fair play, but I rarely see castle get brought for this site.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting change. I think it's really interesting to see how they use the castle to the maximum potential at slowing down these attackers. It'll be interesting to see. They have the sledge on the board.
Well,
Attackers have located a bomb.
alright. So you see, they've opened the angle into it. They've opened the angle into construction from cash, which obviously gives them the lines of sight to cut off this push that, well, the Valhalla Berserkers are going for. They're going for this construction take, and that player behind the green box, if there is one there, should be able to get an easy pick, but no, there is no one there. So no picks being found just yet. I don't know if they know that they're going for this push, and it seems like they're completely oblivious to this push going in.
And the castle barricades really haven't done their job at slowing down this attack at all. A minute, and they've already started to make a very aggressive push through Master Bedroom. Completely foregoing Garrett's pressure for the moment. But Navix is in a wonderful position where he can actually deny anything that goes onto that main wall, any hard breach utility from below. And they're going to have to try and clear him out a little bit, or at least put some pressure on him to slow him down.
Oh. Some roundabouts get shot at Rinsler, and I mean, that's just the way. I mean, there's always Fine's Flex, which of course, losing your mute, no, not your mute, sorry, your smoke is so impactful, as well as your sledge, who also gets taken down. Berserker's in such an advantageous position. They've taken control of construction. They're starting to come round, but no, the swing from Ruse finds a pick on for Shogunate and brings it still in favour of their Berserkers, but even still, finding that first pick could be crucial.
Thankfully, we have So one player on the server who has the sense to shoot out the jukebox. Castle downstairs had every opportunity to, but he failed to do so, and for that he loses my favor for eternity.
You lost my favor when you said you liked Clash.
Clash is a good operator.
No.
Let's put a poll in the chat. Clash, yay or nay?
Yeah.
And everyone who says nay is getting blocked.
No, everyone who says yay is getting blocked.
Okay, I'll just remind the chat that I gave them the freedom to speak, so...
Hey, well, freedom of speech, innit?
Yeah, exactly. And I gave it to the people.
Nah, but they don't like that you like Clash.
15
Right,
Yeah,
anyway.
but I'm the people's champion, so they'll look past it. But 15
People's
seconds
champion?
left on the clock. 2 versus 2. Couple shots coming in from James onto Snappy's foot. He's going to be left at very little HP, but Shady spotted out at the bottom of red stairs. Going to be swung onto and killed very quickly. That's a 2 versus 1
I'm
in
just
favor
saying,
of the defense, and they're going to close out that first round in fantastic fashion.
I'm just so sad just to see the Valhalla lost that. They had such a strong push. And then they just waited. For a whole minute and a half, they just waited in construction and got picked off by Ruse, swinging that same hole every time. So, yeah, that was an awful play from the Berserkers there. Stylex, you need to make the Clash yay or nay now.
Whoa, don't put pressure on Styles. He's just
I'm
doing
putting
his job.
pressure on him. Do it! Do it!
I don't even know.
Right.
Oh, Fairs.
Aww.
Well, I guess you'll just have to be wrong for eternity then.
Nah, I think you'll have to be wrong. Actually, you know what? Just put it in the chat. We'll count. I'm gonna count how many people put yay or nay to Clash. If you like Clash, then
Attackers
put
need to locate and
what is it?
defuse
Yay?
the
Wait, I
bombs
don't know.
if they can.
Yeah, put yay if you like Clash. Put nay if you don't like Clash.
Are you looking at chat?
All my homies hate Clash. Well, no, they won't see this for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I put it in southern mode so none of them can talk.
Wow. I can talk. You know what?
Ten seconds remaining.
Fine, I bullied goalie back.
5 seconds left before.
Anyway, we're seeing the drones coming in through garage, so we could see a quick garage take. They are in the basement, so getting that control, trying to open up Blue and push the player out, because Blue is such a powerful position on this map. He can, from Blue, any player in Blue can really start to push pressure on whether you're going for an Arsenal side take and trying to take from the kitchen hatch and the dirt tunnel, or whether you're going for the church-sided take, you're trying to open up that main breach or even just go through motor door. Blue has such a commanding position and good angles on both of those sites. Like, getting that control is really important. Clearing out the roamers first is what they're going for here. So, because they've got a good droning going on here, with the Ash and Sophia pushing up very quickly alongside the drone.
Alright, well, Stylix is being a bit of a fanboy to Shogun as they were a fanboy to him. So this is favoritism. I'm gonna file a lawsuit. But
Shogunat simping
anyway.
for my boy Stylex. Can't blame them.
Right, look at this. Berserker's already taking control of that top floor and working their way down onto the second floor. They've got the player... You got Renzo already moving his way down those main stairs. I don't think... Yeah, no one on Shogun is on the roam. It seems like most of the players are on and around the site. So, well, Berserkers have an easy time taking control of most of this map. They should be able to get the hatch open eventually. Of course, the kitchen hatch should get impact tricked, but Ibana's new change will allow her to, well, go for it 4 times over.
I even think when you're looking at something like this and you see the impact trick potentially in play, personally I think you should shoot 2 pellets down at a time. Just get that safety of saving pellets, because shooting 4, getting them blown off... Oh, there we go. They were seeing the 2 come in from Shady, so I love to see this. There's excellent knowledge of how you can use your gadget utility. You're going to lose another 2 pellets here on the next set of impact tricks. Nope, not even going to deny it. Or the impact trick came out, but it was unsuccessful. Now the second set of the Nitro Cell was not unsuccessful, so that's an unfortunate loss of the Habana before she can get the
Look at
pellet.
this!
Ace has wormed his way into sight, taking a lot of damage. And that Banshee being so problematic. But he's finally going to be able to chill. Rinsler behind the minibar in sight has a lovely position where they can start to get a plant down, but the defenders putting themselves at a massive advantage in a 4 versus 2. Ye gets swinging through Moto after taking out the ace. Now Sledge in the 1v3 has a lot of work ahead of him if he's going to pull this one back for his team. Goes for a wild swing, missed the first time, picks it up the second time round. A loose Nitro Cell doesn't quite land with any targets.
Right, well, he's going to have to go for the rotate around the bar side now. He doesn't have the diffuser. 3 defenders to find, and only 30 seconds to do so. He manages to find the first, though, as he takes out Zephyr, but even still, 2 players to find, 20 seconds to do so. Look at this. Flex holding the bullet holes. If he tries to go down that hallway, well, he's surely getting picked off. The cross angle should be able to get held as well from the end of that hallway. Not just yet, but now they know that he's there. With that Banshee whirring off, the wallbang almost comes in, but it doesn't manage to take him down. He's going to have to pick up that diffuser and go for the plant. He's getting lit up as well by that Goyo, and Ruse closes it out. I don't like the pushes that Berserkers are going for. They're trying to push, like, they get map control so fast, but then they just stall out for like a minute.
And in other news, the first vote has come in from Snowy Nico, who said, yay. So,
well, no one cares about Snow's vote. That doesn't exist. You paid him. You bribed Snow to say yay.
What, by liking Clash?
Yes.
Okay.
Nobody likes Clash. All my homies hate Clash.
Flat Earth is more likely than me bribing someone.
Hold up. Are you a flat earther? Are you a flat earther? Oh my god. You hear that? Golu's a flat earther.
Exactly.
Nah, he admitted it. He admitted it.
I said Flat Earth is more likely than me bribing someone.
You said the word flat earth, which means you're a flat earther.
Protect your bombs from being defused.
I believe you said it more times than me.
No.
So yeah, if anything, that makes you.
Nah. You said it first. Whoever says it first is the flat earther. There you go.
Right. Well, back in the land of reality, away from the delusions of strange young men.
Oh, there goes gravity.
Did you say, oh, there goes gravity?
Maybe.
I do like the castle barricade coming into play because there is the way you can rappel up by the garage on the south side. Gravity 0, interesting. So you can rappel up the side of the garage, get some nice spray through that construction window and close down a rotation from the players inside a cache as they try to fall back towards site. So putting that castle barricade is going to force a little bit of utility out, a little bit of damage done onto Snappy's, from Snappy onto Navic's foot, but nearly gets it dealt back onto him again.
Well, I mean, I think Valhalla's pushes are pretty awful, and well, it continues to get awful as Zorv's just breaching charges the doorway, does damage to himself. I don't get this whatsoever. It seems like, honestly, I think they're throwing.
They're just going very aggressively. They're trying to push in fast. I don't think the breaching charge was necessary. You could just punch that door down and vault through it. But they want to use the breaching charge style. Points are on the table here for both teams. So, can't blame them too much. Trying to open up some peak holes now so they can get that crossfire as Tomcat is opening up the wall, putting a little bit of pressure now as they start to get that server control and trying to get in. But the wall next to Ella here is soft.
Oh no.
So we could just see Zofia or Ash blow that wall up and put a ton of pressure on Zephyr here, but he's actually going to spray through it, find nobody, but that's going to alert the attackers to that potential, and then finally going to get that opened up as Habana's trying to open up another wall. That's Zephyr falling to Zorv's now through that hole that he had made.
And
As
look at
Navix goes for a wide swing, but
swing.
gets an injure and a kill. The Zofia should be able to pick herself up if she doesn't want to wait for a teammate, which it looks like she's going to do, but Navix has a nice little angle here through the construction wall, which he can get onto anyone pushing too aggressively through the door. Zorv's on 5 HP after picking himself up with the withstand ability.
Oh, and look at this. The little rat angle being held by Flex just below the window. Of course, he has a shotgun, so yeah, he'll definitely find that pick if the Sledge decides to jump through, but that's not the case, as he now drops down to that lower area. All the defenders now on, well, more or less the side of where the site is, and the attackers are now starting to rotate. They're going to have to try to get some walls open, try establish some sort of hold. Well, it's not looking too likely. I mean, they've been in this situation for almost every round. No, literally every round. They're just wasting time doing nothing.
Yeah, and they've managed to get cash control at a pretty early point, and both the defenders that were there, both Navix and Snappy, fell back pretty quickly, but Snappy's now going to get a kill onto Zorv's as he pushes a bit aggressively, and that's a really poor push from Shady following him. That's going to be 2 for the castle. Make it a 3rd. Yep, there we go. Snappy with the triple kill on the round, and Sledge fails to kill Bruce at the top of the main stairs. That's going to be the round number 3, going in favor of Shogunate. I don't know what is going on with this.
I'm not trying to be mean to Berserkers, but I'm not going to lie. This is the worst attacking I've ever seen. It's so strange that they face checked that castle 3 times over. This is boggling my mind. Like, they could have gone to the hatch and contested in there as well, but no. They all come through the rotate, and they all run straight into the ump with those bullets. All in their face. They've really... They need to change something, now.
4 players alive as well. You're going to have drones in pocket, drones in play. You can move them around. But they continue with their aggression, and it is their downfall so far. They haven't been able to close anything out, so we're just going to have to just move on. Hope they can change things up. Maybe a tactical timeout coming inbound at some point soon.
Yeah, I think they need that. Honestly, it's like I'm watching a group of bronzes who have some sort of gun skill, but this is the first time they played this map. That's what it seems like. People who, they know how to shoot, but they just have no idea what they're doing. This is their map choice, and they're just running in, breach charging themselves. Like, I am more than confused. Hold up. Alex, I would smash you in a 1v1. Trust me.
Imagine trying to 1v1 and asking to 1v1 an observer. How crazy, man.
I would though, and he knows it. Yeah, look at him avoiding it now. Wow. I'm too tired. I'm so tired. Help me. No, not old house. No. No. Nah. Change map though.
Back down from a house
Plane.
1v1.
Plane.
Imagine backing down from a house 1v1.
Sorry, but I never played house.
That doesn't matter. It's a 1v1.
Yeah, it does.
It's just a circle.
I don't like Garage Wars.
Bro, have you ever been inside a house? All houses.
No, I've never been. I've never been in a house at all. You know.
Oh, that makes sense.
I live in a shed.
Sam, the exclamation mark caster. That's gonna be really delayed though. You can just hit them with it in chat. Boom. Hey, look, it's me. The main pool getting opened while we're talking about house 1v1s.
Yes.
Excellent, trying to prove that he does, in fact, good at Rainbow Six.
I am. Trust me.
Anyway, but Zephin's getting injured after taking out Rinsler, so the Garage player has been taken out of game for now. They're not going to be able to get anyone in there to secure him and pick him back up now that that wall has been opened up by Tomcat on the ace. Although they may not be fully away as injured, they should be very soon when they chuck a drone or a Yana Gemini inside. Defenders still have pretty good positions here in the 4 versus 4. They can play for that post plant, but Smoke is taking a rain of bullets. Is that from below from Zorbs? That is below from Zorbs, and he's going to be left on 1 HP. James running in and finding Zephyr. That's taking out that injured player from Garage. They now have that Rafters control completely to themselves. A preemptive shot from Snappy, trying to get that free fire, but Zorbs will swing and take his head for it.
And there we go, the plant is now going down. And there's still 50 seconds left. The smoke grenade will go out, but he should be able to confirm that plant in the time. He may get injured by the smoke grenade, but no, he manages to escape. The C4 misses as well. Post-plant situation, they're in the man disadvantage. And even more so as Zorbs finds Ruse. They have so many players to find, and they do find one, but there's still 3 more. And they have that player on the rappel, which, well, it isn't looking likely as Shady finds one. And it's all on Nabbit in this 1 versus 3.
Yeah, he has a massive job ahead of him. He's able to find out the Yana, but can't quite get the critical hit. He brings up very low, and Tomcat is also on 1 HP, but with 11 seconds, he has 4 seconds to find both the kills, 2. 1 second, and that's the game. That's the round over. No matter if he gets these kills or not, he finds the first. Let's see if he can pat his stats a little bit, but he'll be taken out by Tomcat on the rappel after finding just 1.
Yeah, I think the Berserkers may be finally waking up after those 3 atrocious rounds. And of course, they're on the attack, so I'm expecting them to lose this half in round count anyway. But I hope they can get a few more, because if this half ends at 6-1, well, they're not winning. I am just gonna say it.
Defenders choosing to go back to CCTV and cash again.
I think he's dying. Yeah, just a little bit of
I was
COVID.
just casually dying.
Ah, yeah, dude.
I'm COVID clear, man. Don't at me.
I'm too cool for COVID.
No, man. I'm too.
Yeah.
I'm too cool to not wear a mask, unlike you.
Right, hold up. Hold up. Is this an anti-masker right here?
What?
You said you're too cool to not wear a mask.
Yeah,
Wait.
I'm too cool to
yeah,
not wear a mask.
Right. Nah. See, I'm tired. I told you. Leave me alone.
Don't you do English?
No, I don't do English. I asked if you did English.
That's why I had it in mind.
Yeah.
No, I'm not cringe like that.
Yeah, I don't do English.
I'm not smart enough to do English.
Never.
Can't make things up.
Alright, anyway. The back in
Like,
CCTV and cash.
Anyway,
Yeah, oh my god.
bringing the conversation back in loop.
But yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah.
10 seconds to go.
Basically, the conclusion you should take from this round so far in the prep phase is that
5 seconds to insertion.
flat earthers are all English students.
Yeah,
Attackers must locate
and old men.
defuse a bomb.
Yeah, and that. Anyway,
they just prove
back
themselves
to
anyway.
Siege. Do you reckon
Alright,
Cash
yeah.
is a flat earther?
Nah, I think he's too cool to be a fighter, so. Alright. So, of course, you saw the Hibana there, you saw Shady's walking up to that wall just to check if there is a mute jammer there, and of course there is. So they're going to have to dispose of that, so they can open the angle in Garage to stop the rotation coming in. Okay, the Earth is a dinosaur. Okay, cool. Dialects, nice.
The problem
Alright.
is that the people playing are going to be so confused what that means.
Yeah, like... Alright, so yeah.
Apparently Flex just agrees.
So nothing really been done by the attackers just yet. No walls have been opened, and well, almost a minute has been gone already. Of course, you do a bandit to go for that bandit trick if needed, but I mean, oh, well, Zephyr gets taken out on rafters once again. So well, that's not looking too great for him.
He's getting removed from play really early on by these players playing downstairs in the lounge area, and just going to cause so many problems for his team.
A bomb has been
There's just
located.
not a lot that they can do to hold Garage once they get this main breach open, and once that player's gone, you're just losing that control. It opens up the default plant spot to the attackers. They just get it for free. And here we finally see the wall getting opened up by the Ace. They haven't been able to get anyone else in that rafters before now. Hibana had the angle onto that rotate, so even if they had tried to, the angle on the rotate opened up. I don't think she opened it previously, but Navix able to kind of kill downstairs in lounge, closing down the Zofia, who's caused so many problems, but Rinsler able to find one to match.
And well, now, of course, the Berserkers in the advantage. They've got rafters control. They've got the wall open, and I like what the Ace did there. Of course, you see, he used 2 Selmas just to open up that same spot. But that's so he can run through it and doesn't have to vault in. And of course, when you vault in, you're in quite a difficult a bad situation. But look at that, James just holding that flank takes out Nabix when he tries to reposition. So now it's a 2 versus 4. The Valhalla Berserkers have woken up, it seems to be, but of course they still have to go for this push. And they have 50 seconds to do so, and the plant will start to get put down.
Halfway done now, no denial coming out yet, because it's only the Nitro cell on the board, but it will land in the perfect position to catch Tomcat while he is planting. Someone else is going to be able to put themselves in that position, but it looks like they might have a player downstairs contesting the red stairs, and they do. That's the Yana dealing a little bit of damage. Oh, sorry, receiving a little bit of damage, but Rinsler taking out the head of Snappy.
And there we go.
Quickly peeking the other side, taking out Ruse.
Very nice place from Rinsler there. I mean, I don't remember who the Hibana was, but the cover wasn't coming in onto that red hallway, which allowed that Nitro Self to rain through, but in the end it didn't matter, of course, as Rinsler just managed to find those last 2 players. Berserkers have now found 2 rounds in a row, and they are starting to wake up after those 3, well, questionable rounds.
I think it's a really interesting, cool. I don't know. It's fascinating that Zephyr's been able to be picked off twice in rafters, and the fact that they've basically lost both those rounds due to the attackers basically just solo pushing through rafters, taking that control and getting the plant down. There's nothing that's been able to really be done about it. A common adaptation, you might see a player downstairs in the oil pit. You can actually contest the staircase. No one's contesting the garage stairs by standing on top of green box. They're just giving that control as soon as they lose any sort of pressure in that area. I think that's a missed opportunity to capitalize on something that could otherwise be quite worrying for the defense.
Attackers need to locate
Yeah.
And they're losing rounds out because of it. Both rounds they've lost are cash, which should be a a fairly comfortable site for the defenders to hold in most given scenarios, but they're not supporting their Raptors player at all. And just he's falling to very little pressure, and I think that's something that you should consider after the game, but mid-game you should be doing something to help your Raptors player live longer if they're struggling.
Well, I mean, it could also be the fact that I do think he's played a bit too aggressive, and he's just been peeking angles quite a lot of the time that he shouldn't be peeking. I mean, of course, like you said, the lack of help that he had really does factor into his death as
5
well.
seconds to go.
But of course, now Shogun are in the basement site, which, well, the last time Valhalla tried to attack this, well, it just fell apart. They got into site really fast, but, well, they all just got picked off because they weren't ready to go for the execute. Alright, well, okay. So, Berserkers now starting to push their way into cash. Once again, they're going for this very fast take of the map. Yeah, look at this. The drones are already raining in, trying to find the defenders, but just like last time, I don't think they have anyone roaming. So the attackers can take control extremely fast, but the last time, obviously, the attackers took it in about a minute. Berserkers had control, they were in sight, but they weren't ready to execute, and they all got picked off. So they do have to change up this strategy. They just have to check their timing, because it hasn't been great. Of course, now they have a book for that soft destruction, so they can displace some of these defenders, but no, once again, they just try to push straight down those main stairs, and once again, they're not ready to go for the push. And, well, Rinsler just gets easily taken out.
And we're starting to see now that kitchen hatch get opened up by Shady, using that upside down rappel to stay safe of any nitro cells. Unfortunately, he was caught out in prior rounds, so now making that change, just trying to keep himself alive. But trying to push this blue control, Zorz is doing it alone. They're not giving him any assistance at the moment. I hope that changes, because they really need that foothold into the basement before they can start to take any real control. The Valve Cam being instrumental in spotting out this buck and could lead to a lot of potential nitro kill here.
Alright.
Things so far happening, and this is what we've been talking about previously in last rounds, just the stalling out of the attack. Shady finally getting that hatch open, going to be able to help Zorz with pushing out the Jaeger in blue.
I mean, of course, he still has all 3 flashbangs in his pocket, which may entice for them to rain out soon, and of course, if that does happen, well, Zephyrin's going to have to fall back. But no, Zephyrin does get taken out by James on the book, pushing down Oil Pit, and he finds a second onto Snappy as well. But the refract does come in, bringing it once again to a 3 versus 3. Zorbs, however, finds Ruse, and it is in favour of the Berserkers as they now start to wiggle their way into the site.
Yeah, and then I'm setting that plant down on green box. They have the defenders kind of in uncomfortable positions. One's at the back of Arsenal. Valkyrie worming her way up undetected, but Zorz with a lovely flick is able to close her down. They now know where Nabix is on that black box, and they should be able to hold down the rotates. Although a very aggressive swing from Zorz, too aggressive for my liking, is going to put them in a 1 versus 1. The last player, Shady, hiding out in construction. In tunnel, has a lovely angle onto the diffuser should the diffuser start to be disabled. Trying to find a way to do it from behind green box. He's actually able to find the spot, and this could be a stick. He needs to swing around to the left. He will do so, and Shady will find Nabix as he comes off of diffusing it, and that's the attackers catching up. 3 rounds for the defenders, and they'll match with 3 of their own. That's a fantastic comeback from Valhalla on their attacks, and they're kind of repeating what happened previously in map number 1. Can they put the 4th on the board, but hopefully not have a similar second half?
Yeah, it seems like the Berserkers have just completely woken up. I mean, a misplay at the start of that round really just, it didn't seem like they knew how to attack that site that time around. Of course, Rinsler just tried to run down the main stairs, got picked off, but... Oh. EastEnders music lost in the round. Wait, what? Nah, watch Coronation Street. Okay, this is just... Yeah,
How does that lose you the round? Is he watching on a second
Attackers
monitor?
need to locate and defuse
no,
bombs.
I think like my guess is like maybe he's in the same room with his mum. His mum's just turned it on. The music's blasting and he can't hear anything.
Or he just can't miss an episode. He's so invested in the series.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you know. I really just find them completely boring. Alright, so, well, anyway, back to the round. You see, well, everyone knows what's happening here. They're defending the bottom floor, and they've got Mute, Mozzie, Vigil, and the castle, which, well, to me, means the SSG strat, which
10 seconds to
not
insertion.
gonna lie here, this strategy has never worked. Any team who has ever used it, it's never worked. In the Silence League, anyway. This strategy has failed every single time.
Defuse it.
So,
Seen it work?
I have not seen it work.
Oh, it's definitely worked for teams. I've
I've never seen it work
I
in the
can't
Silence
recall.
League, but this could be
I
different.
remember seeing it work, but that's a lot of damage done onto Zords very early on. That would certainly help them out a bit, and nearly finding the thread onto Rinsler as he's just trying to peek and contest this Mozzie. In Garage, they have that window open, but Snappy able to walk past it relatively unharmed. Uncontested, sorry, he is unharmed. Tomcat now droning out Garage for his teammate. They're going to start their way up the staircase, trying to get that intel, but the Mozzie Pest causing so many problems on this drone game, as well as the Mute Jammers.
Alright, well,
Should soon be able to get that server wall open, however.
So, yeah, they have been destroyed, and as you see now, Shogun have had to fall back. Snappy's fell back into the safety of construction, and Zephyr holding this really nice angle over the top of bar. If they get that double door open, then, well, more often than not, well, the attackers won't know he's there, he should be able to get a free pick. However, Tomcat is opening the jacuzzi wall now, which gives them an extra angle.
Yeah, I really like this approach to taking out the SSG roam. I think trying to get only clearing from one side, I think it's just a way to stall too much time. But as we talk about stalling time, Zorz falls to Snappy and logistics, and that's really going to slow down the attack. So they're going to have to find a way to deal with this, but Snappy just runs past the bullets, taking a lot of HP, losing a lot of HP, taking a ton of damage. Down to 20, but he's going to skirt out unharmed.
Alright. So, of course, now the attackers are finally taking control of this top floor. It's taken them so long, though. And I'm not sure if they'll have time to set up the rest of the, yeah, to set up for the rest of this round. I don't know if they'll have time to set up for the execute, as they haven't opened anything. Okay, that's a glitch in the barricade, I guess. But, oh, no, maybe not. I was gonna talk about that hatch being opened but by the defenders, so they can rotate back. But Zephyr finds Rinsler, your Ash is down. Just face checking is really not working out for them. And, well, he finds another one as he just prones on the floor, finds James, and finally gets refragged.
By Tomcat, couldn't close him down any earlier than that, and that's gonna cause massive problems now. Shogun are looking in prime position to take round number 7, leading at half-time for the first time this series. But the two remaining players, both dropping Motor Hatch, going for a bit of a Hail Mary play here, and they're going to be rewarded for the first half at least. Tomcat going to find Flex. That's your castle gone, but Ruse is going to very quickly shut down Shady as he tried to push through Moto. They have too many angles here for the last remaining player. Tomcat could deal with. The player in blue quickly shut down. That's Navix dead. But Ruse is rotating through their blue, and it's going to catch him out for the double kill in the round to close out the half.
Well, if you look in the chat, there's a few people arguing.
But what?
Well, Javon called Twibble bad. Twibble then said that they beat them. Yeah, it's all going up in flames. Oh, okay. Alright, anyway, so the half has been won by Shogunate. It was expected, but I am surprised that the Berserkers managed to pull out 3 rounds when, well, it just looked that they weren't strong on the attack. But now they're on the defense, and, well, they're bringing this Echo, which we haven't seen at all, but of course they're going to Church and Arsenal. They only have the Vigil with the impact range, which doesn't, in my eyes, it doesn't seem they're going to be impact tricking unless Tomcat brought them instead of that deployable shield. We could see that, but
I'm just gonna settle the discussion in chat real quick. Shogunate, didn't they like come 8th in AL?
oh,
hold on, no, but they forfeit. Okay, and who wasn't Javon on that team, and now he's not, and they're winning?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's the end of discussion. So
Alright, there we go.
back to the game. Shogun up 4-3 up, starting their defensive half with a. Starting their offensive half, bringing the Thermite instead of the Ace. So that's an interesting change. Ace has the potential to open a couple more areas, but Thermite opens more of each area. So we saw last time round that when it was Valhalla on the attack, we saw that it was Tomcat on the Ace was throwing 2 sets of charges onto the main wall. Oh wow, quick spray through the construction walls. Actually going to deal a little bit of damage onto Zorvs as Rinza now goes for the reinforcement. Able to get that one off fairly safely.
Alright. So you do have these players on the roam on the top floor, of course the site's bottom floor, but does the Echo have impact grenades? That's my only question.
Should have the shield.
Right, no, yeah,
Oh,
he has impact. Wait, he has impact grenades, but he's used them both, because now they can't impact with the hatch. Which is really strange, that considering they have a smoke to open rotates, that they've used an Echo as well to use those impact grenades.
I really don't like impact tricking that much, or at least for the kitchen hatch anymore, just because you can drop 2 pellets at a time. I think wasting them is like fine, but the fact there are only 3 hatches you need to get, and there are 3 hatches you want to get for the basement, but as I say that, Snappy's going to find the first kill onto Rinsler. That's a fantastic start, but it'll be very quick refrag for Zorvs. He closes down the ashes, she drops Logistic Hatch, closed back very quickly again by Navix, who keeps the round, the number count in their advantage at 4-3.
Alright, so a minute and 40 still left. Only a minute and 20 has been wasted so far. And it hasn't been wasted. They've used it so effectively. They've cleared the roam. That's 2 players down, being the Vigil and the Jaeger, and well, they're now starting to open up these angles as well.
That's
Definitely
really
in a bit of trouble though.
Yeah, the way that the breaching charge blew the floor behind the walls actually removed it, so he can't drop the breaching charge in that section. So he's going to have to go a little bit along either side to get that desired hole, which is a little bit uncomfortable. But James, ready with the Nitro Cell in hand, trying to catch anyone. It looks like he might be catching Ruse as he's starting to approach down the staircase. Sledge getting that hole in the ground opened up. His hammer's able to slot through the little metal bars there, but Tomcat forced back into dirt. It's not being contested at all, and he has the shields and ADSs if someone was coming to keep himself a little bit secured. Interesting to see how he can make use of his yokai drones in the dying stages of the round, or if he's just going to go out firing with the MP5SD, but still waiting on the attackers to make their move. The 4 versus 3 still for them, but James Bot might be able to catch out, I think it's Sledge at the bottom of the main stairs with the Nitro Cell.
Yeah, he's just waiting patiently, getting ready to throw it, and there it goes. It rains out, but only does about half the damage to him. 20 seconds left. They're going to have to go for the push. The kitchen hatch and the blue hatch, I think, are both open. Seems like they're going to be going for the blue push, however. Of course, you have Flex on the Thermite. He's going to be dropping down that kitchen hatch and going for the plant. Of course, there isn't any cover, though, so that'll be a major issue. But, as you say that, Shady does find Zephyr, and this is just proving the point. The ping has gone out. The Echo Drone should be able to deny the plant. And, well, no. James found him, and the round is going to the Berserkers.
Yeah, he went to check his cameras, but it didn't really matter because he was already dead. James through the wall, catching out that the planter, the Thermite, in the middle of his job. And that's the round secured by Shogunate, where they were at a little bit of a disadvantage, but were able to close things out in the final seconds. And that's the return to... Valhalla were able to close it out in the dying seconds, which is kind of the inverse of what was happening a lot of the time on Coastline. But it does happen.
Alright. So yeah, this series has just been so even, because like the man count is always very similar. The refrags are always coming in. And it's 4-4. We saw this the last game as well, of course. At the last game, the most... I remember when it was 5-5, and then of course Shogunate started to pull away. So this could go either way. I'm not gonna lie, this could go to a draw, or Shogunate could win and get another 3 points in their pocket, which of course they would like, but I don't think they'd be disappointed with a draw at this point, on the second map anyway.
Yeah, after the slow start to the map, I think Valhalla really picked up their game. They were able to put 3 rounds back to back. Sorry, 4 rounds back to... No, 3 rounds back to back before dropping that final round. But either way, they're going to start their cash hold now. So it'll be interesting to see if they can hold on to the rafters for a little bit longer. then Shogunat were able to. They haven't got the Wamai in play, but they're bringing back that Echo with the shield this time instead of the impacts, which is quite nice to see. That shield on 90 rafters, if they choose to keep it there, they have pulled it down, so it might not actually be sticking.
Moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
If they do decide to put it there, I actually really do like that. I'm not gonna lie, because once they get that wall open and they can see into that rotate, they still can't shoot him and he'll still be safe. Of course,
Yeah,
it
putting
can
that shield
get
there-
destroyed, but
Yeah, like we said, like you said earlier, the wall does get open. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Oh, the mute jammer on that garage wall is actually going to stop a couple of those pellets from being opened up. So that's a nice placement from Zephyr if it was intentional to get just over the mute jammer.
and of course the meat jammer is stopping that thermite charge from getting opening that wall just at the moment. But of course, the Ash or the Zofia or even the Sledger with grenades can just go below, dispose of that, and then the wall will get open. Like you said, and like I've said countless times, it is just a matter of when. And well, it seems like that will be very soon. Oh, well, look at this though. You see James roaming on that bottom floor on the Valkyrie. The attackers don't drone him out, then I think he could be a big impact in the late round to maybe flank some of these attackers, especially the Ash and the Sledge, who are both like pushing from that side of the map.
Yeah, and the Yokai is here going to give a little bit of intel to Shady as he tries to get pushed out by the attackers, but they haven't been able to deal with that mute jammer in the bottom of garage yet, and that's going to give him a little bit of safety, but it doesn't matter. Zephyr finds the shot onto him. A little bit of blue on blue action with the Japanese operators there, but they are on the opposite sides, so I think it will pass this time.
Alright. So, well, it seems like the Berserkers are just like Shogun when it comes to holding rafters. That player just gets taken out relatively fast. He's the first person to die, but look at this. You see James just playing in oil pit, waiting for pushing the garage, but that doesn't seem to be the case at the
A little
moment.
bit of stream lags. We've lost a little bit of intel on what's going on here, but we should be able to catch right back up with the action in just a second.
Oh, Stylix's game has crashed. So I guess we'll just find out what happened in that round later
They will
on.
be able to keep playing. We'll just have to wait and see when we return what is happening.
So I'm just going to say, who do you think won this round? Who do you think has won the round?
From the positions that players are in, I believe Valhalla should be able to close things out if they can be careful of the Valkyrie playing below in oil pit.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the determining factor of this round.
That's what I was going to say, because of course they got that main wall open, but if the Valkyrie managed to flank up and then stop the defuse with that nitro cell, and if they had any cameras in sight, which they should have, then I do think Berserkers won that round, unless of course Shogunate just fragged them out. So I guess we'll just find out what happens.
Yeah, we'll have to just hang tight for a second and find out. But at the current stage, 4-4, I think this map could really go either way. I think Valhalla do have the slight upper hand here in the fact that they are on the defense.
So now Javon's going after you, Golu.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter.
Oh my god.
I mean, like, it's whatever, you know? Literally means nothing.
Yeah, I mean, just calling someone bad, but I don't get why he called Tribble bad in the first place.
Honestly, I don't think it's really relevant.
Yeah.
I think it's more interesting to see what's going on in our current game that we have on hand, as we are back in, and it actually went in the favor of Shogunate on the attack. So clearly they were able to avoid the Valkyrie playing below, and they were able to close things out.
So my guess there
good job.
I think they were just able to get the frags. I want to see how many kills everyone has now, because I'm gonna say, I was gonna say Flex probably got a few kills there. I'm not sure if he did though.
Even spread on both teams, actually.
Yeah.
True.
Just waiting for a player to get back. There we go.
Stylex, the Ubisoft chill.
Alright, PP done. We can resume.
Okay. Well, we're just waiting on the timeout.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did he become the host of the lobby?
Okay, so I guess you're no longer the host of the lobby. You can still observe, however, which I mean, it is
Shout out to the people.
he stole your server. He stole your lobby. I am the captain now. I just saw it got put in chat earlier. That's quite interesting. Now, just looking at the scoreline, I mean, it's so similar to what it was in the last game, but it always seems like Shogun are always the team to pull ahead first.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Either way, we're back. So, round number 10. Gonna see the defense of the gym bedroom. So this is a site where you often see a bit more of a balance between who wins attackers and defenders. It's one that attackers normally feel a little bit more confident taking. Be interesting to see how the cash hold comes in. They have the Wamai and the Jaeger, so they should be able to hold on to it for potentially a little bit longer than Shogunate were able to on their defense of this site when they brought it into play. But going to use 2 sets of reinforcements to close off from server into cache as well as server outside to the main balcony.
Alright. I mean, I'm just looking at the drone economy now of Shogun. It's so strong, not a single drone being taken out. So, of course, this means that they know where the site is. I'm guessing they know anyway, based on the operator lineup. Of course, bringing that castle is, most of the time, is a big giveaway to say that they're in gym. And the fact that they have every single drone still up will greatly impact them later in this round.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to give them a lot of the intel that they need. There is the mute in play, so that's one thing they have to be careful of, but otherwise I think they're pretty safe to just push in, gather that intel, and they can really take to these advantageous gunfights. With the Z-ping in play, they can really just make the best use of that intel. They're going to be very quickly pushing up towards server, very lucky not to take an early gunfight with the player back on the red staircase, that is the Wamai. Nearly taking a couple shots from him, but the wall is finally getting opened up by Flex. They're taking out that mute jammer, and they have a little bit more space to play around, challenge some angles. Mute jammer in the sorry, not mute jammer. The nitro cell in the hand of James. That's a fourth throw from Tomcat, going to get caught on the top of the reinforced wall. No one's there to receive that as it gets thrown out. So a little bit of wasted utility there, but Zephyr pushing very aggressively towards this red stairs. Going to take a little bit of damage, Snappy will, but Zorvs he will find. Quickly taken out Zephyr, that is the hard breach Habana gone to the nitro cell.
So, it's a 4 versus 4 now. Make it a 4 versus 3 as Tomcat does find the pick onto Snappy. Of course, the Berserkers are at the moment in this advantageous situation. And well, more than half the round now is gone, and you still have Tomcat just playing behind that Goyo shield. 2 ADSs to protect him as well. The attackers are really going to have to try and clear him out this utility. No, clear him out this position, sorry. Before they can push up. You do see Navic push up, but...
They have the pistol, but he pulls out the grenade in hand. He's going to get downed. And that's 2 quick kills going in favor. Oh, and a flashbang going against Shogunate now.
And yeah, 1 versus 4.
See what happens, but he pushes very aggressively towards garage door, takes a spray of bullets from James, who will close him out with the pistol. Fantastic play from the Berserkers to close out this round, and that is going to put themselves in a little bit more of an advantage, putting it back to 5-5.
It just, at the moment, it seems these teams are so evenly matched. Just 1 round for each of them. It's like the sharing the round wins. I mean, in this situation in the last map, this is where Shogun has started to pull away. So let's see if it can happen again, or maybe the opposite will happen. No, we'll just have to wait and see. And of course, now they're going back to Church and Arsenal, which they managed to successfully defend the last time round. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Stylix here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm disappointed too. But Zephyr swapping onto the Habana from the Habana, so tactical swap here.
Yeah. Something I definitely don't hate to see.
So it's going to be a repeat of the same setup that they ran last time they were defending this site, impacting out that minibar. I think that's a really interesting idea, actually. Try and deny that spot to the attackers when they come into plant. You'll be able to see through it now.
Yeah. Wait, I'm just thinking now that... What was that round? I'm trying to think. The last time Berserkers defended this site, wasn't that the round where they lost their 2 roamers really fast?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they still managed to pull out that round, which, I mean, it was
3v4.
4 on their frag, so... Yeah, I do think Shogun, more often than not, do find these opening picks and do take control of the map, but it's just the late round, on this map anyway, where it seems like the Berserkers are just managing to edge it out at the end.
Yeah, the Berserkers have been pretty clinical on their defenses. They've been able to clutch some rounds out, but it is Shogunate that are getting these opening picks, getting the early advantages, and then kind of choking them a little bit. So they can start to just be a little bit more clinical about executing and maneuvering their positions to get that advantageous spots once they have that early map control. And I think that will really help them in closing out some of these rounds and put them at a little bit more of an advantage.
I like to see that they only have the Vigil in the room this time round, because last time around they lost 2 of those players too early. They still managed to win out the round, but even still losing 2 players early on is not good. As, well, Rinsler does do a little bit of damage onto Snappy, and the first pick, as per usual, goes in favour of Zephyr as... of Shogun, sorry, as Zephyr cleans up Rinsler as he tries to rotate back round.
Yeah, and that's your Roma gone as he tried to run into Bath and stall a little bit more time in the pool area, but that's unfortunate. And Ruse with a wildly thrown drone there, going right over the top, and that is going to be a little bit of an inconvenience to get that one back, or just leave it in position there, doing pretty much nothing. Tomcat holding that position, you can see there he's got a lot of ADSs invested in him to try and keep him alive.
Right,
Finally getting this blue hatch open. They haven't really got anyone in a position to start pushing it, but hopefully they will rotate to do so soon.
Half the round's been wasted now, and of course, Berserkers in the advantage, but... No, yeah, Shogunate were in the advantage. But, well, the game has crashed once again, so who do you think won this round then?
Ooh, I think there's too much time left in the round to be able to tell with any sort of accuracy who should win. 4v5 with the attackers in the advantage, a minute 30 on the timer. They had no pressure on blue, no one currently pushing down the main stairs.
The kitchen hatch wasn't open either.
Yeah, so I feel like the defenders had the comfortable positions that they want to hold in, but with that much time, there's still enough for the attackers to pull something to pull themselves together and make a push. Like you saw last time, they were able to get down into Oil Pit, they were able to get down the blue stairs and on the hatch, and they were able to, I think it was, they were able to get something done. Sorry, that was from, like, when Valhalla were attacking, that's what they were able to do. So, and I don't see a reason why Shogunate shouldn't be able to do the same thing.
Yeah, what I was going to say is, on the plant. We'll have to wait and see, though.
Yeah, we will, but just we're waiting on rejoining the lobby. The game is still going on, so that they are not interrupted. They will still be able to play, and they'll probably be back into the next round or in the pick phase by the time we get back into the game. So, very quickly, prediction. Who do you think is going to win?
Who do I think is going to win? I'm going to say Shogunate will win this map as well.
Shogunate to win the map? How close?
Oh, actually, no, I'm changing up. I'm going to say it's a draw.
Interesting.
Because I think it's too close.
I think there's every possibility the defense closed this round out. 4 versus 5. Last time the 3 versus 4.
I really just don't know. It's just
I think they should be able to close this game out. I think that should be able to happen. We didn't see them attack the basement very well last time, and it was Shogunate that won it out. Sorry, it was Valhalla that won.
Yeah, Valhalla won.
So yeah, I think that doesn't surprise me too much. We have seen Shogunate struggle to take control of that blue area, and they did lose out because of it. They put too many players down that main staircase, and that's where they started to lose out members.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Oh. Alright, so Berserkers in the advantage now. Of course, if they win this round, then they're confirmed at least a draw for this map. I mean, I don't think the Berserkers want to draw this map, of course, considering they lost that first map. So they're gonna be trying their hardest, putting everything into these last few rounds just to try close this these last few rounds out.
10 seconds left.
And try get 3 points.
5 seconds seconds remaining. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Okay, so advantage in hand of the Berserkers. Can they hold this site? They weren't able to do it last time. Shogunat won it out, and this is the round we lost connection. Zorv's spinning around and shooting the reinforced wall.
Right. You see that player in stock getting droned out, and now he's going to start to reposition, but once again, Shogunat get that opening pick.
Yep, and that's just Zephyr prone catching out the Jaeger roaming in lounge. It's just unfortunate. But it happens, and that's going to put them in an uncomfortable position to close out this game. Nice shots from Shady being able to take out those Habana pellets on top of the garage wall that's stuck on that mute jammer. But the main breach has now been opened up. Echo still safe on rafters for now. Has a little peek, but isn't quite able to hit Flex as he pushes across.
Right, so as per usual though, you have Shogunat in the advantage. It just comes down to if they can keep this advantage in their pocket. I mean, most of the time they just end up losing it. So I really think they're gonna have to kill James playing this bottom floor to pull out the round and not allow him to go for this late round flank.
Attackers have located a bomb.
You still see Shady as well, just playing on this Raptors position. He has no one contesting him, so he's pretty safe. But there we go. James does get shut down. The roam is completely demolished, and now they can focus on pushing into the site.
Yeah, and they have a massive numbers advantage now in the 5 versus 3, and they should start, if they can get Shady out of play, or if they can, like, I think that's what they need to do. They need to put all their energy into getting Shady out so that they can start to push this garage control, get that area to get the plant down, and then they can start to make the round happen. But you're going to see Echo rotating around onto section 2, going to take a little bit of shots, but taking 0 damage. None of them hitting with the target, but that will hit the target. Snappy finding the head of the Echo, and a wonderfully timed nade from Navix will find out the player at the top of red. Tomcat with a quick double, trying to keep his team in the round. Gonna just narrowly miss the third. Can't quite keep the recoil under control. Gonna be Zephyr to pick up his sights and take out the mute.
Some great plays being made by Zephyr there. Finding some of the more crucial picks. I mean, that opening pick, as well as the closing one. He just anticipated the rotations that they were gonna go for. Of course, the Jaeger was stuck in stock. He tried to rotate out, and he got caught off. And just like that time as well. So 6-6. Whoever wins this round will at least be confirmed a draw, or maybe even a win. And so the Berserk is going to gym and bedroom, bringing that castle once again. But of course, I do believe that Shogunat will anticipate this, as they have previously.
Well, when you see the castle, you normally expect a gym bedroom. You don't see the Mozzie as well as... Well, you don't need a vigil, but you don't see the Mozzie. And so without that, there's potential for a 6th pick, but without both of them, it's unlikely it's an SSG-esque room. You're going to expect it to go to the top floor.
Yeah. The thing about this site is, though, the last time the Berserkers defended here, they won in spectacular fashion. Of course, they had that player behind that deployable shield. I believe it was Tomcat. But behind the glow shield at the top of the red stairs, and he just picked them off one by one. And they dominated that round, so let's see if they can do it again.
10 seconds left. 5 seconds left.
You can worry less about grenades. Setting up Vulcan.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Okay. So you see that deployable shield, the glow shield getting placed once again in that same location. That was such a pivotal piece of utility in that last round, so the attackers are really going to have to focus on removing that before they can go for the execute, because of course the last time round, well, it just didn't fall in their favour. And you see Flex going for that jacuzzi wall. He's going to need to remove the mute jammer before, of course, it can get opened. And I like this split push they're going for. Snappy already establishing his dominance at the bottom of the red stairs. However, there is the barbed wire as well as the player at the top ready to contest if need be. They have droned out CCTV, so that no one is there. They can take control of rafters and try go for this push again. Last time it didn't work, but maybe they can change some things up and how it worked this time round, and you see they brought the Kali, they've used that explosive lance, they've opened up that jacuzzi wall in relatively good time. However, nothing has really happened just yet. They're starting to stake their claim on certain parts of the map, especially on rafters, as you see Ruse just walking his way up. Of course, there is no one there to contest, so he should have an easy time of doing so.
Yeah, they're getting these walls open. They're finally starting to make a little bit of a push to get some map control, but James running past a ton of open fire, actually dealing a little bit of damage onto Ruse. The Zofia taking some harm, pushing very aggressively. I don't know what he's doing here, trying to catch a player off guard, I guess, but when they're getting in position, you really just have to play a little bit more safe, and that's going to force Zorvs out as he has no one else to support his position. The castle barricade next to him getting popped. That's going to force him right back into sight to take a bit more of a defensive position. Now with all the control in the hands of Shogunate, and they have the man advantage as well, they should be able to put something together here, find the pieces they need to get this round secured. A minute left on the round, so they might be a little starved for time, but ultimately, there should be plenty.
Yeah, I do think Shogunate are in a much better position this time round. Of course, that player who was playing at the top of those red stairs with that shield is no longer there, as it has been completely cleared out. And they have the man advantage, but as we have seen, the man advantage quite a lot of the time doesn't mean anything as they can bring it back, but Flex and Ruse find 2 quick picks on to the players on with the Berserkers, and it's all on one player, and well, he couldn't find it. And Shogunate confirmed to at least get a draw on this map.
Yeah, and that's a huge round to win. It gives you, like you said, that confirmed point and potentially 3. And now, if they close this one out, that's 6 points they would have obtained today from Valhalla. But if they can't quite manage that, then at least they'll be taking home 4. Just have to see now what Shogunate can do in this last round. They have one last chance to bring something special, or likewise for Valhalla to close something out. But they've won this site twice, returning to the basement with exactly the same setup. Okay, Shogunate have seen it twice. They're seeing this lineup, they should recognize where they're going. So, we have to hope that, well, for their sake, that they're going to bring something special. They're going to change something up and bring something new to the table.
No. Again.
Okay, I was slightly worried that they might swap off of the Habana completely, which would be a massive mistake considering you're going to the basement. You really need those hatches to get opened up.
Alright, so
I think it's interesting they're still choosing to bring the Thermite on Flex rather than the Ace. The smoke canisters can be incredibly powerful at getting open, like closing some of the sightlines off, especially when you're trying to defend something like blue. They haven't been doing. Shogunate have been very poor at taking blue control, taking areas of the bottom floor for themselves, and using that to extend into sites. Using that to turn it off.
Alright, so I do think Shogunate have really shined on their early round drone clear. Within 45 to 1 minute, like 45 seconds to a minute, they have cleared the roamers out, but it's just the transition between the late and mid round just hasn't been the greatest for them. Of course, they are still in the lead. They are confirmed at least 1 point, so I mean that is something to show, especially when they won the first map as well.
But yeah, like you're saying, you have to look at this. They get the opening pick nearly every single round. They're playing most rounds as a 5v4, yet they can't close them out massively. Like, they started the half 4-3 up, and they are 3-3 on their attacks. But like we said, Ruse finding James, that's the Valkyrie off the table, Nitro Cell no longer available for the defensive side. So we'll have to see if they can finally capitalize here. That's Valkyrie dead in meat freeze, trying to go for an interesting peek out towards the dirt tunnel, I would imagine. But either way, a bit of a reckless position to be in as a defender at this point in the round.
Yeah, I just don't think the Berserkers is like the start of the round. It's never been great. I think over 70% of the rounds, I do think, but the Berserkers have had that player die first, and it's just really not a good thing to have. I mean, of course they have managed to still win out rounds, but it's just really not looking great for them, especially when the drones come in like this and the players get spotted out.
The hatch above him getting opened up, he's being really forced out of his position, but the sledge drops right onto him. He's alive with 1 HP, but Rinza not happy with how that engagement went, showing his distaste in the chat, and that's a 3 versus 5 for the attackers now. While Sledge is at 1 HP, that shouldn't be too much of a problem for them to overcome. Now just have to consider how they're going to reorganize themselves for this push. There's only 2 defenders on site. Zorvs has wormed his way up the stairs, climbed up through garages in the top floor, walks over a drone, but looks like it's not active. And as I say that, someone starts to drive away. So they're now aware of the leader's presence on that top floor. And they're going to have to send someone to deal with him, or try and just hope that they have their flank covered
I
to
do
deny
think they
him
might
from
just ignore
rotating
him.
back to site.
Yeah, I think they might just ignore him because, well, they've took the control they need to go for the execute, but, and there we go. A frag finally came in on the side of the Berserkers, but the refrag instantly came in, and Zorvs almost gets taken out as well. This leaves Shady alone in sight. 3 players could possibly just push at him now, and he has no support from anyone. Well, it seems even more likely now as the pick comes out. Snappy does find one, but the refrag comes in, but ultimately, SHO gonna win out this second map as well, confirming 6 points.
And that's an 8-6, 8-6, so it couldn't get any closer while still giving out the maximum number of points to either of these teams. But there we go. That is both maps going in favor of Shogunate. They are our winners today. Congratulations to them for their performance. A little bit scrappy in some rounds, but ultimately they were able to put the rounds on the board and close out the game. That's going to be a strong start for them in the Advanced League, and hopefully they will be able to continue their form. I don't think Berserker should be too worried either. They had a couple unfortunate rounds, but it's nothing that won't be smoothed out with time.
Yeah.
Is this what I've been waiting for? 'Cause I'm feeling a little too comfortable. And I think it might be the perfect time. Yeah, to have a taste of my own advice. From places I've never been. In colors I've never seen. From places I've never been. In colors I've never seen. Colors that 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 I've never seen. Is this what I was hoping for? To live by my uncertainty principles. 'Cause I think it might be the perfect time. Yeah, to let my head and my heart decide. From places I've never been. In colors I've never seen. From places I've never been. In colors I've never seen. Colors that I've never seen.
With the light on. Oh, we are live. Wonderful. So everyone's been entertained by some
Wait, did everyone hear my pizza comments?
deficiencies. No,
Oh,
Sorry,
thank God.
sorry, boys. Sorry, boys.
fortunately from them.
Lovely zoom in on Goldie there.
Oh yeah, keep zoomed in on him. Don't look at me. I'm just going to be drinking my Fanta.
Fruit twist. Hell yeah.
Of course. What other flavour are you going to
A
have?
man of culture.
Of course.
Well,
Farmer's boy
I
in
don't
that.
think we're. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, we'll get going then. So, congratulations on the win. First win of Advanced League. 2 wins. 6 points up. Oh,
Yes.
I'm with join. So, 2 wins in. Feeling good about it. First
Yeah.
thoughts after the match?
After Coast, we felt good. We decided on Coast we were just gonna. I don't know. We didn't feel confident on Cafe, so we were just like we'll scrim. We scrimmed Coast twice since we've been a team, and we scrimmed it yesterday, and we did really well. So we decided to just say fuck it and go for it. And we knew
Yeah.
that our strats would be good on that, but I think we started off really well, and then we threw a couple rounds, kind of gave
Yeah.
Valhalla some momentum, which made the games look closer than probably what we wanted them to be and what we should have made it.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. I think across both maps, I think there were some rounds where you had the advantage, opening picks in a ton of those rounds. Lots of
Yeah.
rounds you always were able to find those picks. The roam clear was really strong for both your games. But there was something about trying to position yourselves from the mid round to that execute that
Yeah.
sometimes didn't quite go as planned.
Yeah, that's always been our thing. Of we can clear out everyone really well, and then we kind of stall out and we just kind of forget what we know and how we've planned to set up. We kind of forget like you're meant to go here. It's more of just we've got 30 seconds left. Let's just bum into the site, which most of the time doesn't work, unfortunately.
I just have to say, like, there's a reason I gave you that MVP on that first map. I swear to God, you hold in kitchen, where I don't know why, but there was a Sophia who just ran straight into main desk,
Yeah.
and you just ended her life. And then the ace with Goyo as well, holding theater. Like, I don't get it. Like,
I don't know what happened, to be perfectly honest.
some insane shots coming out for you though. Like, well
Yeah,
done.
I knew that the ash when I aced with Goyo, the ash was just quick peeking Hall of Fame, and I was like, well, if I shoot now, I'm probably going to miss, and he's probably just going to beam me. So I was just waiting for him to fully commit to coming into master, and
He did.
then he did, and then I beamed him,
And then you beamed 3 more.
then beamed 3 more, then got flashed by the lion. I was crapping myself then,
Nice. You still
then-
found them all though.
and then still got it, which that was during that round. That was the quietest I've ever been in my life, to be honest.
I'm just gonna say, I'm guessing you didn't want them to get that close to beating you. I'm guessing you were expecting to, like, win in like 8-2 on both maps or something. Because I know that you're a good team. I have first-hand experience that you're a good team.
On our day, we're all right.
Yeah.
In ranked, we're a bit shocking, but
In scrims, your buddy terrorized us on our own map.
yeah, it's good times.
Not for me.
See, now we're trash at Cafe. If any teams out there,
So
take us to Cafe. You'll slap us up.
So,
we became awful as well.
So maybe cafe bans inbound from you guys in the near future then, but
Until we somehow get good, I guess. But
well,
yeah.
But you guys were able to push it out, and there was a couple of rounds where they went really late, especially on the first map of Coastline. The first 3 rounds all came down to the final 20, 30 seconds, and every single time you looked clinical in closing out what you need to do. You had the round of 2 versus 3 when pushing Kitchen, the second round of Coastline. You're able to close out that 2v3 with some quick trades between you and Flex, I think it was on the Capital at the time.
Yeah.
So what goes into closing out that? Like, what was going so well that it's kind of maybe dropped away a little bit towards some of the later rounds on your attacking half?
We dry runned our Coastline attacks right before the game, which really helped us because we were all fresh in our minds what we had to do on attack. And I think we won the 3 opening rounds on both maps. And I think because we did it and we did it fairly decently, it was more of a mental thing of, oh, we've won these 3 opening rounds. It's going to be the rest of the game is going to be like this. But then there's some rounds where we had to really dig deep and try and find our ability to actually win a round and try and just get that final push at the end rather than just sitting in a corner waiting until the last 30 seconds. But yeah, it's just something we just need to work on with our final pushes.
Yeah, fair enough. And also on Clubhouse, there's a couple problems that may be problems. You didn't have massive amounts of success on pushing that basement side.
No, we just, I don't know, we were worried about the roam, which in the end we didn't really need to worry too much about. I think we gave them a false hope that the roam is working because we cleared out the roam, but then we would just lose the round. But yeah, we're weird on club. Sometimes we can be really good. Other times we can just might as well not play it. But it's all part of the fun, innit?
Yeah, I mean, you still managed to win both maps. I mean, like I said though, it did come a bit too close than you would have liked.
Yeah,
Because I do know like how good your team can play. Obviously, like I said, I've had a first hand beating. So yeah. I mean, if we can move on. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. Oh my god.
It's alright, my brain's fried.
Yeah, I
Almost
mean,
Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah.
oh, I actually can't wait.
On the slowdown. Well, I mean,
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I just think today we were just a bit better in our attacks. We kind of in the first 3, it was almost like they had no idea how to defend on consulate. Consulate? See, I'm brain dead.
yeah, on the
On
Clubhouse.
coast,
Even.
on coast and club. It's just we started so well, which we haven't done in a very long time. We haven't started games well more recently, and yeah, we kind of just fucked it. Well, we didn't fuck
Yeah,
it. We just all right.
Did win, yeah.
Did
yeah,
win,
you
which is
still
the main
managed to
part.
win, but no, just
Um,
checking something real quick.
What do you think was the biggest reason you were able to consistently find opening picks on the defense? Was it a bit of a was it more you pushing them out well, them kind of going for interesting rotations, or a weird mix in the middle, or something else?
I think it was just a mix of both teams just running into each other. I don't think either team did anything that's like, oh, I did this so we can get this kill. It was more of just we happened to rotate up here and find one, and then on one of the CC attacks, they were in construction and we had no idea. I thought they started destroying the shield, Flex's shield in cash, and I thought they were Zophiring it from below. Then I gave the call of they're in stock, and Snappy the Jaeger was in lounge, I think, and then he was like, they're not. I was like, great. And then and as soon as I realised they were in construction, I just held the door, and they all just individually pushed one by one.
Yeah,
I think they probably didn't want to
yeah,
actually do that.
that was strange.
But
I just have to say, do you have anything to say to your next opponent, Galaxy? I mean, you faced them before. You won 2-1 in the tournament, but
I think they're going to ban Villa. I would assume.
yeah. I mean, I would assume as well, considering 8-0.
Yeah, I think. I think it's going to be a good game. I think the first time we played them, we underestimated them a lot. We kind of in the build-up, we were like, "Oh, these lot are going to get slapped. It's easy," because we were feeling so good in ranked and in scrims before. But then they actually showed that they can actually be a decent team until Villa, when we just turned into Prime G2, which is never going to happen again. So it's all right. But
That's what
yeah,
feels bad.
I think it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be an 8-0. I think they've probably
It'll be
learned.
16-0.
Well, if my dreams come true, then maybe. But yeah,
we'll have to
we
wait
hope
and
it's gonna
see.
be a good game. We don't want close games, but then we don't want to just smack a team because
Yeah,
we don't. It's not that fun.
and it's also not very good for content.
Yeah, content. See,
Content is key.
this is why Stylex loves me. I always bring the content.
Keeping it,
I mean-
purposely keeping it close. I see.
Yeah, I mean, 3 days ago, I was telling my team that I'm going to a sub role and I'm done with the game because
Oh,
I was literally useless. Like you could literally put a plank of wood on a keyboard and it'll do better than what I was doing.
oh,
And then
well.
my man Zephan gave me a pep talk. Became my dad for a good day, and I took a day off and came back in scrims, did well, but didn't feel that good. And then came into today's game and I somehow got my aim back.
Yeah, and you top for both
Feels
games,
really
didn't
good.
you? Did you top for both games?
Yeah, I got what 16, 17 on coast, and then 14 on
something.
club,
Yeah, so
something like that. But yeah, got my fragging ability back, which I'm very thankful for.
I've never found that. What's fragging? I don't
No,
know.
mine was gone for a while.
Sucks
Mine
to
was
suck, I
gone.
guess.
It does
Yeah.
suck. To suck. Tell that to Flex. He does suck. Just kidding. Love
Yikes.
you.
Kind of toxic, man.
Nah, love you, Flex. Please don't leave. We need you on Thermite.
Right.
Good old Therm.
Well,
Well.
any last sendings to the people watching?
Javon,
Oh,
Valhalla A. I don't know. I just wanted to shout him out.
fair enough.
We're coming for Valhalla A team, you know.
Would you like us to do it first?
Wow. Yeah,
We'll
you
kill
can
them
beat,
first for you.
You beat them. Well, actually, no. We would like them to beat everyone.
Oh,
They look really good,
And then
we
you beat them.
smack them up.
right.
That's
Makes
fair.
sense.
But we know they're not going to beat everyone. Joking. Love you.
Oh dear. Well, it begins.
Javon knows I'm joking. It's all right. He loves me, really.
Does
Oh,
he though?
Maybe.
we can only hope.
Yeah. Don't know. Might get another letter.
Well, I think this has gone on for a long time now.
This always
Just
happens.
spitballing.
This always happens in my interviews. We just start off official, then we just go into blabbing on, and
Yeah,
then
I
I
mean,
get in trouble.
Chatting shit.
I'm just gonna get in trouble here. Well,
it just proves that you're good at talking
I'm good at
normal
talking.
conversations. Yeah,
Complete rubbish.
You're good at making me want to engage in a conversation.
That's
Oh.
one of the perks.
I mean, you were the person who got my team to sign up for this thing in the first place. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, all the way back.
Oh, I remember that back
Yeah.
when Open League. Yeah,
Mm.
I remember that.
Long history.
That was fun. Well, we scrimmed once,
Yeah.
and then for some reason we were just chatting all the time. And then you got in a ranked game with Javon a couple of times and smacked him up, which love that. And then yeah, Stylix was like, "Oh yeah, there's an open spot," and I was like, "They might want it." And now
then we did.
now you're in a league above us, so it's gone well.
I still think you could have made it if you didn't forfeit both games.
Well, we did what we wanted, and we didn't have the players. And trying to play with a guy who has no idea what comp is very stressful.
Mm.
When he gets a kill and says points are off, since when? Jesus. But he got 4 kills before that.
And
He got 4
realise
kills,
then.
didn't notice, then gets 1 kill and goes, points are off.
Oh
That's
my god.
wonderful.
Of course.
Ah.
But we made Advanced League is what we wanted to do. We want to get a bit more experience as a team rather than just trying to win the tourney, which I don't know if we would have beat Prosium. They're kind of another level of nasty, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, have you heard what they want to do? Like, they want to win this, win Professional League, go to the Nationals, win that, win Challenge League, then win Pro League.
It's a good plan, innit? It's a good plan.
Yeah, it's a good plan. I've been told multiple times that they just want to win it all.
Fair enough.
And the guy that was doing Prosium interviews, he's got a good trim. I like his trim.
Unlike me.
Don't even mention mine.
I just haven't trimmed it.
Next week I'm getting a trim. Don't you worry. I'll look fresh.
Yeah, I can't ever.
That's all right. It's all right. You got
Right,
the voice.
anyway.
That's all that matters.
Right, his is better than mine.
Thank you.
He has the more British accent. I have more, what would you call it? Northern
You.
Mong. There you go.
You.
Northern Mong. Whoa.
Alright, well, I think we should end it here. This has gone on far too long.
So it always takes a turn.
It's just entertaining, but yeah.
Yeah,
I
no, it
think,
is funny.
An end should come at some point.
Alright.